Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Renowned Explorers. It's time to head out to Egypt. Apparently, there's a lot of gold to find. So I was having a look at the spreadsheet, and it looks like, in the time between me starting to record this and now, several more people have finished runs with you. So I might have to, after I finish this, maybe I'll go back and do another run with a different captain to help complete the captain rotations. But hey, if you have the game, and you have the ability to contribute, please do go check out the challenge linked in the description and the spreadsheet and stuff. Anyway, let's focus up here. The Egyptian desert. Yvonne is already complaining about being thirsty. You know how she is. Yu sighs and checks the map you got from the society and determines the location of the Temple of War. It's right over there. You can probably see it from here. See, that's a desert. It's probably relatively flat. By chance, a British expedition passes you. The leader of the caravan approaches you with enthusiasm. Ah, another group of fine explorers. Be careful not to dry out in the desert. Visit an oasis to replenish your supplies. Is it weird that I did a voice for the British guy, but it wasn't a British voice? He hands over a map of all the oases. Halfway through doing it, I was like, well, if I'm going to do a voice at all, I should... Anyway. When the British investor disappears, Yu rallies the crew. It's time to start this adventure in the desert. So, the desert has some relatively high travel costs. There's going to be a lot more twos here than we've seen in previous expeditions. But remember, every time we successfully complete an aggressive combat, we gain one supply. So, as long as we can keep fighting, we'll be okay. Obviously, I want to do all the encounters I can. Earl's not too far off of a level. What is at stake for Yvonne? Not very much, really. Earl's next level gets him his final combat ability, which allows him to stun people. It's pretty powerful. So we definitely want to get his level done. Let's go this way and we'll kind of loop around. That's going to be the plan. All of the oases, unfortunately, are on the far side of the map. It's a little bit nicer when they're sort of distributed more evenly. Yeah, alright. Let's go this way first. We'll loop around a bit. A ravine. You might find something useful at the bottom. Someone can climb down, but doing so in the searing heat will cost supplies. So we're going to have to pay supplies no matter how we, no matter whether we succeed or fail here. But, we should get tokens. I'm just worried that we're going to run out of supplies and, die. Should I pay a supply? This will make this 3 supplies lost already. Ugh. You know what? I'm going to do this with Earl, even though the payout's better with you. Because I want to get him some XP as quickly as possible. The faster we have that ability of his, the easier this place is going to be. Great job! Earl climbs down skillfully and finds something convenient. A rare desert flower or a set of gems. You know what? We're going to need some gear to keep pushing on. The expeditions get pretty hard from here, so gold might be a good way to go. Also, science is a good way to go. We have research papers that need writing. Oh man, I see a zero-cost path here. There are several small houses lying in ruins in the middle of the desert. You investigate each house, but nothing noteworthy can be found. But then Yvonne notices a basement door. Yvonne opens the doors and everybody walks down the stairs, Earl holding a lit torch. You see what happens to be what appears to be an old embalming room. Well, obviously, let's steal everything in here. You search for something of value. There are a lot of embalming tools, linen and pottery. As you're searching, you hear moaning coming from a dark corner. Soon your worst fears become reality. A bunch of mummies is approaching you. With love? I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce, is that the correct pronunciation of an interrobang? This is not my worst fear. Look at the payouts that we are accumulating. Okay, let's blow up some mummies. So what's the story with these mummies? They are weak to sadness. They are strong against confidence, and they have 0 armor. The mummies are kind of interesting because they're the only enemy in the game that still deals physical damage to you when they're using their friendly and devious attacks. They just hug the crap out of you. Well, who's tough? Earl's not tough. Earl gets to go over here. He can just shoot somebody. I don't know that there's anything particularly fancy to do here. We probably should actually... Who's got the most credible friendly attack? I'm going to open up with a friendly attack just so that our first physical attack gets a massive bonus. because going friendly against their friendliness will put us into pleasant mood, which will allow us to backstab one of them. Somehow, the mummies won't see this coming. Alright, he can't even... Man, these guys are a little tougher than the enemies we've been facing so far. So it turns out we need the we need that 50% buff just to get one of them down on the first turn. And then I think Yu's going to stay tough. Is there a way that I can catch all three of them? No, this doesn't quite have the range. Can I get two of them from here? Also, no, man. Alright, I'm just going to stand right where I'm standing. I'm going to hit these two with it. Because this guy doesn't need any encouragement to focus on you. He can't hit anybody else. Alright, they followed us to hostile. That's probably fine. The speech defense bonus that we were getting from being aggressive against their friendly isn't going to help us against mummies anyway. Yeah, and our defenses are such that we're pretty alright here. Unfortunately, it is going to take us quite a bit of work to get through these mummies. So, let's start by... We can work them down by enraging them and then shooting them afterwards, since they'll have no, like, significantly negative armor. Is this low enough for... Yes, it is low enough for Yvonne to actually take one out. And then Earl can just put a lot of damage on another one, or maybe... Yeah, okay, there it is. That's the play. And actually, I think we're going to have Yvonne throw a friendly maneuver at you here and just help him tank. So next turn we can do the same thing. You can enrage somebody, and then you can enrage this guy since he has more health. And we'll shoot him. And then when we're down to just one zombie, things should be pretty easy. Or mummy, rather. It's important. Those things are different. I don't generally spend a lot of time healing when I'm playing, but unfortunately, I think we're in a position where Yvonne is not... Oh, actually, we can take this guy down. I don't think there's any chance that Yvonne can kill that remaining mummy. Sorry, can defeat that remaining mummy. Because it's Renowned Explorers and nobody dies. And also, can you kill a mummy? Is that even a thing? Can a mummy even be killed? Okay, well, we're real deep on aggressive points, so finishing this guy off devious won't screw up our ending here. So 6 encounter tokens at this payout each for that battle. Plus 2 study tokens, plus 25 renown, plus a supply. It's pretty okay. Ah, see, here's the trick, though. I guess there's no sense... I was going to say, walking to here and then trying to get toward that node is going to cost us a ton of supplies because there's a two path here, but walking down to here and then walking to here isn't really any different than just walking to here, and it gives us a slightly higher chance of finding the hidden horde. Okay, nothing of interest. Oh no, I forgot about this. Every once in a while you lose extra supplies. Yvonne's face is in papers all over the world. Even here, some locals have heard about her amazing stories. These are the locals. Look at how they're big fans. She continues to talk herself up, aggravating Earl. While you found another journalist to follow your adventures, this tension between Earl and Yvonne can't continue forever. Can't it, though? Sadly, Earl did not gain another level of rivalry. We gotta get to these oases quickly. A group of scorpions are waiting in the desert for some prey. More importantly, amidst the scorpions is a bag full of golden coins, slowly drifting away in the quicksand. Quicksand? Yeah, well, let's fight the scorpions. So, it says encounter does not give tokens. It still does give XP, though. Yeah, let's just fight them. I could use the XP. Also, encounter does not give tokens. I think it's still... Okay, yeah, it does still give us the supplies. That makes it extremely correct. So these dudes have high speech defense. It's difficult to convince scorpions of things. That is a well-known nature fact about scorpions. Very bullheaded. Let's It's kind of strange because you would expect them to be scorpion-headed, but, I mean, this is... Nature is a beautiful mystery. You know? So, Earl's armor is not spectacular. Maybe this is a bad idea. These guys do only have 19 attack power. Ah, we're probably fine. Well, hold on. This is only worth doing if Yvonne can actually finish this guy off, because if not, then Earl should just take this guy down. So... It looks like... Oh no, she can... Yvonne can make anybody sad, it turns out. Doesn't matter if they speak English, you know, even if they can't understand her, even if they don't have ears. Do scorpions have ears? It's like a superpower. It's like she has a superpower. So the good news is we're actually... that place I moved to before was definitely wrong. This place takes advantage of a natural bottleneck to make it so only one scorpion can attack you in the first place. Or not you. Only one scorpion can attack Earl in the first place. Well, this is easy enough. And we would have gotten some tokens, probably, if we had undergone one of the challenges to distract the scorpions or something, but... I do not imagine that we would have gotten a number of tokens that was sufficient to make doing that better than getting the supplies from this fight. The fireworks weren't quite enough, but when Yvonne told him that he smells like old dog food, that really did it. That poor scorpion. Alright. An important question has been bugging Yvonne for some time now. Given the relaxed circumstances right now, she decides to ask you the question everyone wants to know the answer to. Who is your favorite explorer, anyway? You turns around and laughs. Well, it's the explorer everyone respects. Charming, skillful, good with words. You says he even had the pleasure to meet this explorer recently as he winks toward Yvonne. Yvonne starts to blush a little. The answer suddenly makes sense to her. Of course! You's favorite explorer is... Look at that. Look at that face. That's the first time in her life she's made that face. Yu tries to act cool and rival-y when he's around, but his room is covered with Rivaloo-themed posters, and Yu's even the chairman of the official Chinese Rivaloo fan club. This is a good response. It's interesting that we get a discovery token for doing this, but we get nothing for Earl's response. Well, we're doing the one that gives the discovery token. Also, it's the better response. The crew goes berserk. Yvonne vandalizes some nearby nature, and Earl swears that the next human you encounter will suffer the wrath of 1,000 Yetis. Wait. Don't harm somebody else because Yu's an idiot. Harm you. It's just unfair. Once everyone has calmed down a bit, they vowed to never ever speak of this again, and still act like they're all better than Rivaloo. Poor Yu is too afraid to even form an opinion of the others. So, yeah, everybody's gained another level of rivalry with Yu. That's great. That's great. That's just even more tokens. Now, I said I was going to focus on engineering with Earl, but I'm wondering if maybe I should take a third point of Survivalist, because I know that you can sometimes avoid the penalties in the desert here with levels of Survivalist. You know what? This is tough. This is probably better in the long run, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Survivalist. And so, I should also note, Earl's picked up Strike of Fear now. It is a straight line attack. It hits everyone in the line, and it will stun every enemy in the line that's not a boss. It also is a Terrify attack, which is a thing that we could use a little bit more of for when we run into enemies that are weak to Terrify and stuff. Alright, let's keep exploring toward the oases. A caravan of explorers from the British excavation forces looking to find treasures for the Empire. One of the investors seems to have an important document in his possession. I love important documents. Those are my favorite documents. How's everybody's grit? 0, 19, and 4. Okay, so if we have you try to steal the document, and he fails, there's actually no penalty. Question is, do we want to use one of our tools here to make this likely? I think we do. Let's see if we can get all those tokens. And there's actually no penalty for failure, because his dodge chance can't get less than 0. You escapes the explorers. Zaijin, slowpokes. It's probably a Chinese word that I probably mispronounced very badly. You makes away with the document, and some coin. Yeah, we're doing alright so far. We're only 3 nodes away from the entrance, though. Probably gonna move on here. No matter which way we go from this node, it'll cost 2 supplies. I think we're going to go to the blank node, even though this one has a challenge at it, just because there's no other symbols here. I bet this challenge isn't very good, and we really do need to make sure we make it to the oasis before we run out of supplies. Okay, nothing of interest. That's interesting, though. Well, let's, this is 0 cost. Let's just go over here and get whatever is at this node. A cool-looking figure approaches the crew. On closer inspection, it's Ilmiz the Eagle from Constantinople. Just being around such a cool person is pleasantly refreshing. What are you doing here? Well, you don't have a particularly interesting relationship. Ilmiz greets you politely. Greetings, you. I'm sorry I can't stay longer. I have an important mission. Let's exchange some information about this desert, shall we? You learn a bit from each other and then part ways. She sure is an interesting lady. So you can have her in your entourage, and I'm not sure if anything interesting happens if you have her in your entourage when this happens. But I do know also one of the explorers, Hattis, is her sister, and they have a little exchange if you have Hattis with you when you meet her. So, do I want to just go back over here and like check out this other path of zeros? I want to hit this node, but let's see where this 0 leads. Okay, well that's interesting. The crew finds some materials that could be used to create some helpful gear and tools. The materials could just be studied for a single token. We get a tool if we succeed on this roll. Man. It's so hard not to go for the encounter rolls every time, but man, he's just not the guy for these checks. And I would really like the tool. Yeah, if we pass this roll, we can use the tool to make another check with you later that we probably wouldn't have made otherwise. That's my justification. Earl has a stroke of inspiration on how to use those British leftovers in just the right way. The result is some valuable experience and an excellent tool. Your next challenge will be much easier because of this. Yeah. I know what a tool does. So this is a little awkward. Okay, it looks like this oasis does connect to the node right here. So we'll go to here, it'll take us down to 2 supplies. Here will take us down to 1, and then we can go up and get that. And we'll loop around, we'll grab this and explore over in this area, grabbing the oases as we go. Obviously, it is to your benefit to clear as much of each expedition as you can. Magnificent! You found the elusive Temple of Thoth. Or Thoth. I think it's supposed to be Thoth. Some explorers have already tried to explore this temple, but they were never heard of again. Now it's my turn to try, sure. The temple is an amazing sight. You move forward through a hall where you find some human bones lying around, an eerie reminder of the dangers that lie ahead. Earl's looking distracted when you hear a click. A trap! Earl's too late and gets hit by flying arrows. It's a moderately well-made trap. You know, it's fine. It's okay. Everyone agrees except for Earl, who thinks this trap is an unparalleled masterpiece. So he could lose armor or speech defense. Armor is way more relevant on this mission. After the close encounter with the ancient trap, the crew continues down the hall. I bet you can avoid that trap if you have a couple levels of Quick Thinker on the person who gets chosen. Or actually, do we have Quick Thinker at all? No, there are no levels of Quick Thinker in our party. It might just be that if a person with Quick Thinker is in your party, they get chosen and then they can dodge it. So, we continue down the hall. We see a dim light coming from a room. Why, it's the fabled Chamber of Choice! This room is mysteriously lit. Along the back wall there are 3 statues, a golden jackal, a jade human, and a lapis lazuli ibis. So obviously these link to the 3 resources. We investigate the room further. The hieroglyphs read, "Make your choice, wealth, fame, or knowledge." It must have something to do with those statues. What does the crew choose? Well, it turns out that Earl's very greedy, so I don't get to make the choice. But I probably would have chosen wealth. Oh no! Earl's greed gets the upper hand, and he just snatches the golden jackal. You hear mechanisms click, the walls start to shift, and a secret room reveals itself as Earl puts the jackal statue away. Yeah, okay. So, plus 1 to 3 gold from every collect token we pick up for the rest of the game. Or a single treasure hunt token. Our treasure hunt tokens are buffed, right? But this is like 75 to 100 gold then, I think. This, we would need to get in the neighborhood of, 40 to 50 collect tokens over the course of the entire rest of the game for this to be better. We probably will, actually. But this is another one of those situations where taking the resources right now will help us do a better job later. I'm just going to grab the treasure hunt. The room is full of gold, silver, and gemstones. The crew is so beguiled they fail to notice the rumbling temple. Well, let's grab all the treasure. Okay, those who choose wealth deserve to be buried with their spoils. The crew finally notices that the whole place is coming down. You've got to flee as quickly as possible. Well, we're going to tool this. The difference in chance of success here is not huge. And look at all those tokens. If we lost a resolve, we'd go down to 3 resolve. That's not even that bad. We can get by with 3 resolve. But we won't have to. You sprints forward with some extra treasure. You sees the crew won't make it, but then tells the others to take cover near safe structures close to the exit. You escapes the temple as the entrance collapses. No one is hurt, and he can dig the crew out with ease. What a clever fellow. Ah, but the danger's not over yet, because outside of the temple is a huge scorpion waiting to attack him. I'm not concerned about a single scorpion. Ah, we're gonna get so paid. Unfortunately, I don't have any attacks that can hit him. My range is only 2 tiles. So I'm just gonna wait for him. I'm gonna back up a space so that he can't hit me first. And my turn to wait for him to walk over here. Okay, there we go. Catch. He didn't catch. That's my bad. He doesn't really have hands. Whatever, it's fine. I'm sure he'll recover. It's just a little firework, and it was pretty far away from him. Alright, with that, your adventures in the Temple of Thoth have come to an end. You will surely remember that ancient gods cannot be trusted with their boons, or just in general, I would say. Okay. So we ended up getting a supply for doing that. So that means we can take a little detour here. We haven't found the hidden hoard yet. So let's check out this 0. A group of Egyptians crosses your path. One of them seems to be a journalist who went to cover a story in the south. Now is your chance to impress these good people for a story. We have 1 tool left. Yvonne's behind everybody. I think we should let her take the role here. We'll save the tool for something more difficult. Impressive. With some well-placed compliments and a telling story, Yvonne convinces the journalist to write a big article on you. You can see it already. You leads explorers to uncover Egyptian secrets. I do not think that it is a proper style to just use somebody's first name in a title. I feel like we ought to know a thing like that. Alright, I'm going to go back down to here so that we can approach this oasis from the south, because I want to grab this node first. The crew passes through a vicious sandstorm. No one can see anyone else, but the crew tries to stick together. You have to, like, grab each other's belts, man. However, when the storm passes, Captain Yu is gone. The crew starts looking, but can't find him anywhere. As the crew becomes chaotic, Yvonne comes up with a suggestion. Yvonne urges the crew to elect a vice captain, even if it's only until Yu is found again. Listen, it's very temporary. After some voting and discussions, it's going to be tough to vote with just 2 people. I don't know if that's a system that's really going to work. So I'm pretty sure that you get a perk out of this. You get your choice of a group of perks. I'm gonna nominate Yvonne. It's decided. Yvonne is the crew's vice captain. The crew already has an idea what kind of leader she'll be, so we get to give her a rogue here. And I did this so that she could take the level of diplomat, but it might have been better to do it to give Earl Tinkerer. Oh no, he has Tinkerer already, actually. Yeah, let's take Diplomat Generous. The crew continues looking for you. Their search leads them to a British excavation site. Maybe they know something about his whereabouts. Sadly, the head of security comes toward you. Hey, no snooping here. This is a private area. Normally, you would handle such issues. Really? We let him do the talking? But now the crew has to do with Yvonne. Seriously, this is her job. Like, this is why she's here. Okay, so every encounter is so good for us. So I guess we're going to talk them down, quote unquote, talk them down. Alright, so we'll start by making fun of their hats or their boots or something. Also, I think Yvonne's a little overdressed for this desert. Okay, Earl can't quite get them both. That's called negotiation. You can tell Earl's an American. Okay, so this will provide enough aggressive points to tip us over into aggressive, which will definitely make our encounter ending aggressive. Yeah, we gotta do as many encounters as possible, because these token payouts are just bananas. The head of security was no match for your might. You march into the camp victoriously. You go to the executive of this excavation and make a joyful discovery. Use drinking tea with him. You encountered these nice people after the sandstorm, and decided to follow them for a while. You believed the crew would do just fine, and that you'd find each other in due time. That's very confident of him. Before you leave, however, the executive hears about the damage you've done to security. Yeah, that's true, we did a bad thing. He's furious and demands compensation. You gives the crew a stern look. Yeah, I shot him. I shot him what? The guy was coming to him. After the conversation, the crew continues. The crew jokes that if you were to turn into a voodoo pirate, Yvonne would be the new captain. That's a weird... Why do we assume that the thing that's going to end his leadership is that he turns into a voodoo pirate? Of all of the outcomes. Alright, let's make camp. So... we could just gain an encounter for each level of Tactician, Beguiler, and Quick Thinker we have. We could pick up a bunch of blue or green tokens. Yvonne's a level 3 Beguiler, right? She is not. So we could give her this. I'm pretty sure we could just target her with this. And then once she becomes a level 3 Beguiler at her next level up, she can, from there, gain +4 campaign on Beguiler spins. Right, if I click this... Yeah, it'll let me target her. But I'm not sure that I actually want to do that over just taking 5 encounter tokens right now for the resources that we could use, immediately. How close is she? She's 2 encounters off of a level up. She'll gain Beguiler Seduction, and then she'll be able to, every time we have a Beguiler problem, she will get us a bunch of tokens. I think I just want to take this. I just want to push for resources right now. I'm a little sad we didn't get Earl's crew story here. I'm actually really torn. Now let's get the encounter tokens. What a spirited debate. The crew members are all using their wits to argue the best use of gold and fame they have collected. Yvonne even makes a personal attack in the heat of it all. Yeah, that's how she does. Insulting Earl's approach and intelligence. Hey, I don't need to go back to Explorer School, or go to Explorer School for the first time, because let's be honest, there's no way. The argument does wind down, and both come to a uniting conclusion. However, Earl is pretty salty about Yvonne's insult. Okay, so a crew member starts to dislike another crew member. Works for me. And also we got 5 encounter tokens. So actually that was 7 encounter tokens, right? Because that's going to give us another... it's going to give us another level of this thing for the payout that we get from use crew card. So overall, a pretty successful adventure so far. Ooh. Hey, look at that. More treasure right in the path of the place I was going. After a while in the desert, you finally see an oasis on the horizon. After a long, hard struggle through the vast, hot desert, you finally reach the oasis. There's a lake here with some fish, date palms, plants, and a few other people who are resting. Everybody but you is going to refill their water for the journey ahead. What will you do? Oh, you know what he'll do. He'll pick dates. That sounds like him, right? That you, always picking dates. He loves dates. No, he doesn't. He's not good at picking them, though. That's a shame. That would have been a good payout. You tries to climb the date palm, but falls down halfway. He lands softly on some sand, but won't go back up. Luckily, during the commotion, some dates fell to the ground. Okay. Well, we got 1 supply. And then these guys refilled the water canteens, giving us an additional 2. So at the Oasis, generally the way it works is you get 2 supplies, and then you do a challenge. And if you fail it, you only get 1 more. And if you succeed, you get 2. Well, let's check out this pyramid. After navigating a particularly tenacious sandstorm, the crew finds something fantastic. The puzzling Red Pyramid of Sneferu. It is said to be notoriously dangerous, but uncovering its secret is every explorer's dream. Well, then we'd better get to it. I feel like everything we do is notoriously dangerous. As you approach the pyramid, you encounter an unpleasant surprise. Cassandra Shafiq, the Egyptologist from Rivalu's crew. You distinctly remember each other from your encounter in the Highlands. Oh, honorable member of the renowned explorers. It seems you've made it pretty far, no? Yeah, no thanks to you. It matters not, yes? The treasures found in this pyramid are for me and Rivalu to take, yes? Rivalinis, they're called Rivalinis. His henchmen are called Rivalinis. Keep them out while I go explore this pyramid. Cassandra enters the pyramid while you're stuck with her henchmen. Rivalinis. What a ridiculous name for henchmen. See, like, the game can't help but editorialize either. Rivalinis. Aren't they bothered by how diminutive that is? That would bug me. Okay, well, I see a goon with no armor, and then some people with some armor and resistant to enrage. That's actually probably going to serve them pretty well here. That said, I'm still going to enrage them, because I want the armor debuff. Now, they're devious, so if we, if we go aggressive on them, we'll end up aggressive with a debuff. But I think we can probably do enough damage quickly enough that it's not going to matter. In fact, we may have, depending on the damage we get out of fireworks, this might be good enough. Yeah, never mind. They don't get a turn. Yeah, we have enough area attacks that it doesn't matter. Oh no, my speech defense. With those Rivalinis taken care of, you are free to enter the Red Pyramid. Cassandra already has a head start, though. The crew is inside. Others have tried to best this pyramid, but they never got far. You arrive in the first room. It seems that Cassandra noticed you coming. The path forward is blocked by a limestone plate. You could push the heavy thing aside, but an athlete rush might also do the job, so we could push it aside, but it's going to take some time, or you can just fling himself at it. 72% is a good enough chance. I'm not going to tool this. I'm going to save the tool for a thing that we need to do, but we're not super likely to get done. 72 is good enough for me. I trust. Yeah, see, he's got it. I'll admit, I got a little nervous seeing that skull come down the wheel. You charges toward the stone, pickaxe in hand, and with great force shatters it. Such unbelievable force. There was a lot of force, you guys. Too much force to contain in one sentence. You can continue forward, gaining some ground on Cassandra. People also pay good money for some of the shards you just made. Okay, cool. The crew carries on through the musty halls to find the fabled Chamber of Hieroglyphs. Switches with hieroglyphs are everywhere, each switch representing a notable achievement of the Egyptian civilization. A way forward is, as you expected, absent. Cassandra must have passed through here just moments ago. Well, listen. We know some things about archaeology. You find a message inscribed on the wall. If you want to visit my tomb, pay respect by listing my achievements. Well, that sounds pretty easy. You can also be clever and just, like, investigate the room and figure out which buttons Cassandra pressed, but that would take time, and you knows all about this stuff, apparently. Yu's knowledge of Sneferu is amazing. With great precision, he presses all the right switches. Conquests in Nubia and Libya, the construction of an impressive building, and a secret door opens. The crew goes down a long, long hallway. It has abrupt corners as it goes down pretty consistently. The crew tries to make haste to catch up with Cassandra. They take a final corner, and then a closing door. A massive stone door is sliding down. Cassandra must have triggered something to seal off the tomb. You've got to hurry if you want to get into the Pharaoh's chamber. Yeah, we'll just take the 90%, right? I mean, it would be really bad to fail this. Not just the -2 resolve, but also for the fact that I don't think we'll get to fight Cassandra, and I do want to do another battle. But 90% is very likely to work. I don't want to save my tool for something else. We're just going to push our luck a little bit. Easy. We made it. The door's closing quickly, but you is the last one to slide through heroically before it slams down. Time to go face Cassandra in the burial chamber of Sneferu. The Pharaoh's burial chamber. Riches, secrets, documents, but above all, the mask of Sneferu. That's a pretty weird-looking mask. Sorry, that's a pretty stunning-looking mask. Unfortunately, someone arrived just seconds before us. Well, well, it was an impressive feat for you to get so far, even overcoming my obstacles, no? You've grown into pretty competent explorers. I bet you want the Mask of Sneferu, yes? This is annoying to me, this thing she does with the questions. Give it or we'll punch your lights out, that's us. I see, I see. I will convince you of my cause in due time. Let's settle this like explorers, once and for all. Whoa, does she mean to the death? Because I'll do it. I'll fight to the death. I'm certain we brought more explosives than she did. Of course she doesn't, but obviously we're going to get this done the way we get it done. Cassandra will be shocked. Yeah, that's a fair description. So, this is another situation where I think I want to start out friendly to take advantage of the backstab bonus. I don't know why she would fall for the idea that we're just going to have a little conversation, but let's start out with the idea that we're just going to have a little conversation. We'll have a polite debate about who gets to take the mask. We're not quite going to be able to get both of these guys this turn. Unless you can hit them both with the fireworks by... Oh, he can. Okay. Never mind, we're good. Surprise! It's not a polite conversation at all. Can you imagine if you were having a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden they just hurled a string of fireworks on the ground between you? Again, shocked. Shocked is the thing that she's going to be. She seems to be fleeing. That's what I would do. I would run away. Ooh, interesting. So their attack has given Yvonne the excited emotion. Excited increases your speech power significantly, so Yvonne is now incredibly dangerous. That was a very bad move on her part. We can't reach any of the others. Yeah, Earl can't even get close. So I guess we had better just... Yeah, we can't do anything else. Okay. We'll just take her out and then run everybody else together. Here, we can have you deliver some confidence to Earl, increasing his attack power even further. And then actually, you know what? I think Cassandra might have an area effect attack, so let's not all stand right on top of each other. Okay, that's a good mood swap. She has excited one of her crew members. I don't know that that's going to get the job done. So it would be best for us if we could swap to friendly for a minute here, or if we could just like blow this encounter up and get it over with. Does Earl have the... Yeah, Earl has the shot. So I guess Yu's not going to get to do anything this turn. He may as well give Earl a little bit of healing. You know what? I'm just going to stay aggressive. I know we're suffering a debuff here, but we're also very good at fighting this way. And I guess we're going to spread out. We're going to try to flank this dude. Group Insult has a pretty long range, not quite long enough for this situation. That's fine. More Rivalinis burst in. But Cassandra has now committed to close range combat. Wow, she just hit him for his entire health pool. Well, that happened. This is what happens when you sit around with the debuff on. She's weak to Excite, which we don't actually have any access to. Yeah, none of us have Excite. She has 0 armor, though. Alright, we'd better swap modes here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so when one of your crew members is down, everybody has this revive crewmember ability. It picks the downed crew member up, and it gives the reviver a defense buff, so that they're not likely to immediately go down as punishment for having gotten someone up. Alright, how are we going to position... What I'd really like to do here is put Yvonne in a place such that we could hit both of these guys with Group Insult. I guess we don't have to hit this guy with Group Insult to reduce his armor, if we can just defeat him. But I definitely want to defeat this guy with a Devious attack and have both of these two use Devious attacks, so that we swap to Devious before the end of the turn. Oh, I actually can catch them both. But I also could just blow this guy up, right? This does reduce her speech as well. Yeah, we'll do it this way. I'm trying to figure out whether I think one of these things is considerably better than the other, and I don't think that they're meaningfully different, really. Alright, let me finish this guy off. And that gives us enough deviousness to swap over to having all of our speech defense back. Unfortunately, we are all grouped up now, so if I am remembering correctly, and she does indeed have a big AoE attack for us, that could be bad. Okay. So we're going to slowly get swarmed. Honestly, our party's damage output is such that we're probably not even in danger, really. We can run these guys out faster than they can flood the scene. So I think I want to deride her because she's right. Deride heals Yvonne, but it only heals for half of the damage inflicted, and the fact that she's resistant to it means that we won't probably inflict that much damage. It's hard to tell how much that is, but it's probably going to heal Yvonne for like 10 or so. Each one of these little marks, I think, means 10 health. We could certainly hit for a lot more than that. Can I get a decent heal out of... That's not terrible. You know what, I should probably just... Excuse me, I should probably just do both. But we should make sure that Yu is standing next to Cassandra so that he's giving her his minus speech defense aura before we hit the ability. I think I want to just heal her to full... I don't want to make her not excited anymore, though. Doing this will make her confident. I could just hit Cassandra, and fairly hard, too. Man, Earl really hits her. Okay, let's do this. We're definitely doing this. I may as well just commit. I could have moved Earl into the regeneration zone, but... oh, never mind. I thought these guys only had 2 move. I was going to say, but that'll make him vulnerable to the mobster, but never mind, I already did that. That was bad play. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit her. This way we can probably finish her off next turn. Oh, she swapped moods on us again. Okay, but we got lucky. Yvonne has a little bit of grit. And so the attack missed. And Earl should have... Oh, Earl has a little bit of grit as well. That's true. Yvonne has 4 grit, by the way. She has a 4% chance of dodging. So that was very lucky. So we have this, though, right? It's going to be kind of close, actually. So how much health does she have left? 34? Oh no, I think yeah, we're good. Because 34 is what you did last turn, isn't it? And then we still have Yvonne to throw an attack to. Okay, we got through that. We lost a point of resolve, but it's not the end of the world. Cassandra is shocked. Is this how you settle things? You are a murderous barbarian, hey? Never murdered anybody. We just blow them up and shoot them, but then they're fine. Take the mask. You'll hear from me once I report your violent behavior to fellow explorers. I mean, they know. They've gotta know. We are not stealthy about it. The Mask of Sneferu is still lying in the middle of the room. It's yours to take, along with all the items around it. So yeah, we get the mask and also all these tokens. We are going to come out of this expedition with so much stuff. Your highest level archaeologist gains plus secret on archaeologist spins. What do I think we're going to do more of in the future? Athlete or... Also, status is kind of our weak point right now, so an extra source of status could be useful. I'm trying to think, what is the next expedition I'm going to do? You know what, the next expedition we're going to do is probably us going to an island where there are a lot of nature challenges, and nature challenges involve athlete. He only has 1 level of athlete, though. We might want to look to changing that. I think I'm going to take this. I think we're going to see more athlete challenges than archaeologist challenges from here out. And that has put you at max level, so... He heals for 50% of the damage done with fireworks and becomes excited after using fireworks, or he adds 1 enraged to each surrounding enemy at the start of our turn. That's pretty powerful, obviously, just kind of passively stripping the armor off of enemies, but I'm hard-pressed to ignore a heal. Plus, we already have a good group enraged delivery system, and I'm going to take Surprise Yourself. And then also, Yvonne, I think this would be a good time to pick up some more Beguiler. I think Beguiler in general is more useful than Rogue. Okay, let's go get another cool thing. The crew is relaxing at night, looking at the stars. It's pretty cold out here, but the campfire provides some heat. Then, something happens. Yu suddenly pops up and starts running toward the ruins of an obelisk nearby. The crew thinks he's losing it. Yvonne quickly follows to see what's going on. Yu is obsessively looking through maps and at the obelisk. Yvonne looks a bit flabbergasted as Yu sums up locations and calculations. Suddenly, he seems to know something. Aliens! Sorry? Yu begins a rant about how aliens visited ancient Egypt and the pyramids in this obelisk are proof and blah blah blah. Yvonne can't listen to it any longer. It seems that every bright mind must be a little crazy. Okay, free perk, sure. He is now a level 5 archaeologist, which is pretty good considering that archaeology is not one of his core perk groups. So, alright, going to this node will reveal all of the nodes over here that we haven't explored yet, just in case any of them are important. Oh, that one has combat. The crew finds a native tablet that contains some cryptic knowledge. You're pretty sure this knowledge can be used on this expedition to increase someone's grit or speech defense. Let's give you some grit. It's a message about quick wits and dexterity to evade local dangers. It is a message about quick wits and dexterity, increasing grit for this expedition. The message is only fully interpreted by one crew member, yeah. So in general, defenses give diminishing returns. The first couple of points are much more effective than later points, so it's good to give defenses to people who don't have much of that kind of defense. And it's kind of hard to see because of the tooltip, but this is a zero-cost path. So we'll go up here, we'll get one supply, then we'll zero-cost over to here. You stumble upon a graveyard full of camel carcasses, some still rotting. Earl is disgusted by the smell. Not the others, though? And there's one carcass moving in the distance. Oh no, camel mummies. Nope, sorry, it was just full of scorpions. And they come rushing toward us. Well, we're getting to put some of that tactician knowledge to work, at least. I was kind of excited about fighting the camel mummy. Alright, so the tactician buff that Yu is giving us now at Tactician 3 is 5% better on the stats and lasts 1 extra turn. And then when he gets to level 5, it'll increase in the same way again. Tactician is a pretty valuable skill group. Alright, so these guys aren't really vulnerable to anything, they just don't have a lot of armor. Okay, I mean, it's not rocket science, let's shoot some of them. Can he make it over here? He can. He is so fast. So this lowers attack, right? Yeah, minus 40% attack. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have run over here and group enrage them first. Actually, it looks like the group enrage does so much damage that it will still probably defeat them all. Defeating them all with a group enrage will generate a lot of points of deviousness, though. It's fine. It'll probably be fine. You know what? Just in case, I'm going to only defeat... No, let's take them all. So, this system's a little bit more complicated than I've been making it out to be. It's not just if you end devious, you get the devious result. You can see you generate points in your attitudes by doing actions, and there are some other things that affect it, like ending the turn in an attitude generates a point for it, I believe. Swapping from certain attitudes to certain other attitudes will affect your points in some ways, like switching directly from friendly to aggressive, I believe, cuts your friendly points in half. Stuff like that. I think we should be okay. Right, so we're at 3 devious, 2 aggressive. We'll get enough points for defeating this guy that we should be fine. So we get a point for ending, we get a devious point for ending devious, I believe. So now we should be at 4-2. We'll have Yvonne. Oh, I was going to have Yvonne attack this guy because I didn't think it was going to be lethal. Will this be lethal? I wanna hit him. Okay, this probably won't take him down. So this will generate us an extra point of aggressiveness by making us use one more aggressive move. So that'll make us aggressive for sure. Okay, even just swapping over was good enough. But when the difference in payout is what it is between those two endings, we have to be pretty careful. Alright, you get the better of the scorpions and they leave you alone. This will make an interesting case study on desert wildlife. Yeah, let's go check this. Nothing of interest, okay. I'm not used to seeing so many zero-cost travel paths in the desert. Exploring the desert sometimes becomes easier when some set up camp while others explore the surroundings. You thinks this is such a time. 2 crew members will go exploring while the others set up camp. Who will go exploring? Well, probably Earl. Being a survivalist will probably make him good at exploring. And then maybe Yvonne. I'm thinking that setting up that camp in the jungle expedition was a tactician thing. So setting up camp here might also be a tactician thing. Also, I think there's a chance when you go exploring for you to bump into the English, and Yvonne has all of the social skills, so we'll send her out as well. While exploring in the desert, Yvonne and Earl find something useful. For example, we find this small water source. That's pretty handy. With this part of the desert explored, Earl and Yvonne return to camp. Time to rest a little and continue the expedition. There are a bunch of different things that can happen during that, I believe. I've definitely seen stuff that was not that. Okay, I guess we may as well just check this note out on the way over, since it's a zero-cost move from here to there. The heat is unbearable. You're forced to wait in the shade and use some supplies, except you're not because Earl's such a good survivalist. That man's a genius. I regret all those things I said about him, and all the things I still am currently saying about him. Alright, we found another oasis. This time, it's Earl's turn. So everybody's going to refill the water. Earl's just going to fish. It's probably a combination of luck and skill. Earl catches one fish after another, enough to make some money. You know, he built himself a very effective fishing pole. Meanwhile, the other crew members have refilled all the water canteens. Okay, we're actually doing really well on supplies now. So let's drop down here and see what these nodes are. Hey, the Hidden Horde. Status is definitely our weak point. I want to have a lot of money for buying equipment, but I kind of think that I do have a lot of money for buying equipment, right? Like, we're probably good. I would like to be able to hire some what do you call them? Some entourage dudes. Specialists. Okay, so there's a battle over there. It's annoying and expensive to access, but we get supplies for doing it, and we'll get supplies from this node, probably. Okay, so the best way to do this is to go down here first. The desert is merciless, but sometimes the sands hide something valuable. A trained survivalist might be able to find solace and wealth. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter who does it. Let's have Earl do it just because I want to succeed. We could tool it. I'm starting to think we're not going to run into a difficult check. There's a check we're going to have to make in a second inside the temple proper, but it's a tactician check. I think you should be able to handle it. Let's go for this. Let's go for the big payout on this one. And the thing is, if we don't get these supplies, I don't think it will, like, break us. Okay, I think it was a good use of the tool. With sharp senses and instinct, Yu manages to find edible roots and lost caravan coins. Even the desert drought can't tame Yu's survival spirit. Alright, yeah, we're extremely good on supplies now. Alright, so let's go back and have ourselves a little encounter. A group of British goons without a leader. They're approaching you. Continue exploring. No, don't stop to talk to them. Just continue exploring. We cannot find our boss, but we're sure he wants you gone. Usually he tells us how to behave during a confrontation. But since he's not here, we will approach you in a friendly manner, they said very menacingly. Also, that's just a real weird thing to say to somebody. If my boss was here, I don't know what I'd do. But since he's not, let's be friends. Let's exchange scrapbooking tips. So we can definitely open up with this deride and then swap into aggressive before their turn so that we're not suffering a speech defense penalty. Oh, I gotta remember to move you first. He has that minus speech defense aura that would make her deride slightly more effective. Actually, it looks like we're probably just going to defeat them, because I bet Earl has the damage from experimentation to just put this away. This is a pretty effective team. It turns out you don't need defenses if you just have offenses. It's just a better fence. Goons without a leader is like a fish without fins. The goons leave you slightly disoriented, and you can continue your journey. Alright, there's not going to be anything here. Yeah, we can avoid wasting supplies, and we're going to be able to... Yeah, there's definitely enough supplies for us to get this, and get this, and then leave. Alright, it's Yvonne's turn. Yvonne will just ask the locals for some supplies. She's pretty well suited to that. She talks to some of the travelers, and they are quite impressed by you and your stories. They give you supplies and tell you to keep up the good work. Alright, we actually have too many supplies. This is a problem I don't know that I've ever had before. Alright, everyone's growing weak. When they see there's another hill to climb, they lose all hope and decide to rest. This costs you some supplies. I think there are some other skill groups that can prevent the supply loss events. I know that there are some supply loss events that can be countered by being an athlete. Okay, so we did miss one node that isn't empty, but I have to say, on the whole, this has been very good. Oh no, Earl gets stuck in quicksand and is desperately waving around. Someone needs to help him. Well, I'm going to accept the 13% lower chance of a payout for the much, much larger potential payout. I'm sure the expected value works out better there. Okay, we lose some armor. That's a shame. It goes horribly wrong. You tries to help Earl, but takes a wrong and gets stuck as well. They manage to escape, but Earl isn't feeling too well. Yeah, we're fine. So we're not even going to go over and check this because it's too expensive. We've run out of supplies. I have to say, this feels like a pretty good Egyptian expedition. So here we are, the Temple of War. Once we figure out what's going on here, the expedition will come to an end. Let's do it. The crew approaches the temple that is in an excellent state. However, the seal has already been removed. Yu tells the crew that the temple is dedicated to Sekhmet, the goddess of war and destruction. The crew carefully approaches the entrance. After following a hallway, the crew arrives at the Chamber of War. Sarcophagi of soldiers are aligned against the wall, and a stele stands tall in the center. Possibly. That's maybe how that word is pronounced. It seems someone has been here before. The crew sees no way to continue, so an investigation is started. Do I want 2 campaign tokens more than I want 2 study tokens? I think the answer to that question is yes. In the search, Yu approaches the stele and reads it out loud. By decree of Sekhmet, only those skilled in the art of war may proceed. All of a sudden, a sarcophagus bursts open. It's a mummy general. Beat me in a game of war, O living thing, and prove your worth. Soldier figurines start moving across the floor, which reveals itself to be a map of Lower Egypt. Oh cool, we're going to play Kemet. We should be good at that. Yeah, we're extremely good at that. What a tactical masterclass by you! Yu's Egyptian chariots outflank the general's haughty spear division, and Yu delivers a decisive blow to the general's forces. Impressive. You are worthy of meeting Sekhmet. Why is he the only mummy who can speak? Anyway, a secret door opens. The crew now moves on through a long and dark hallway. The crew can only see ahead with the flaming light of their torches. Wall paintings describe locations where offerings were brought to Sekhmet in order to win her favor in war. You have a feeling you're missing something here. And here, because Yu's a level 4 archaeologist, actually a level 5 archaeologist now, we get a bonus treasure. A secret passage. It goes down quickly. It might have been an air vent of some sort. Yu sees a chance to cut off the other party inside the temple and slides down the vent. The rest of the crew follows. You made a great decision. You land in a treasure room. There are golden coins and beautiful idols everywhere. But the centerpiece lies in the middle of the room, where, obviously... Again, we got some color coding going on here. Let's take a Ra statue. I could use some more money. So, 20 to 25 more gold from every treasure hunt token. Right now, right this second, this will give us more money than taking another treasure hunt token. And then this also benefits all the treasure hunts we get for the rest of the game. So this is pretty much a no-brainer. Our treasure hunt tokens are very good right now. This, the tooltip here won't update until the next load, but... A most impressive piece indeed. You continue looking for an exit when you finds a hole in the floor. Below you see a strange red light and hear the voice of two people talking. You listen closely. With this curse released, the renowned explorers will be destroyed for sticking their noses where they don't belong. With them gone, the anti-explorers will be able to keep the world's secrets. It seems like you and your explorer comrades are being cursed. You've got to stop them. Although, cursing rivalry wouldn't be so bad. The crew tries to find a passage down, but there's none to be found. When you hear that the men below are running away from the ever-increasing red light, you takes matters into hand and resourcefully bursts open the floor. I mean, we did bring all these explosives, right? We all fall down into the room. Sacred ground to the goddess Sekhmet. The voices you heard are gone, and you's about to issue pursuit when from behind you hear, "Those treasure hunters have completed the ritual to make war rise again!" That can't be good. The incarnation of Sekhmet stands before you. Finally, I am whole again. First, I need to repay my debt. The goddess of war has been called to wage war against the enemies of her followers. You! Now bow down to me, or be the first ones to fall. I mean, if you're going to wage war on us, how's it... Right, we bow down, she's still going to wage war on us. So, probably that's the falling. Probably there will be falling. I got an idea. Why don't we just shoot her with guns? The thing about ancient gods and their mystical invincibility and stuff is that you don't really know if they're invincible, because people in the past were much worse at destroying stuff. We're fantastic at destroying stuff now. I think we probably have this under control. So there's a concern, right, as always, when we start in a situation like this, I often like to fall back toward the edge of the map, wipe out the enemies there so that we don't get converged upon by the enemies from the left and the enemies from the right at the same time. So let's go ahead and do that. And these guys are weak to sadness and enrage and excited. So they're not very good mummies. I mean, I guess as far as mummies go, maybe these are great mummies. I don't really know. I don't really know the relative quality of mummies. I guess I'm just going to leave Yvonne right here, and she can chuck some sadness out. And I'm going to start with the sadness, because I want to end aggressive. If we went aggressive first, and we just had, threw dynamite and shot stuff, and then had Yvonne do her thing, we would end our turn aggressive, but we would have some devious points. I want to end aggressive with clean meters. So we're going to do that first. Actually, we're not going to be able to get all of these mummies. Yu's going to have to go forward and fight the other one over here, because he can't, he started too far away from that guy. Okay, now probably, because we went aggressive, they'll switch to aggressive, but that's much better for us than them being friendly, because that means we can play devious and aggressive and be either even with them or ahead of them, whereas if they remained friendly, I would have to be careful about being devious. Because we might swap to devious at some point during the battle, it might be convenient for us to use a couple devious attacks in a row. So we'll have Earl just step back away from this guy, but finish him off. I wish Earl's gun had better range. Actually, this is just one space, so we can get him from here. Because this is range 2. Alright, so Earl will definitely actually be contributing to the fight next turn. It's coming. Any moment now. What is our armor situation? Yvonne's armor is actually better than Earl's. This guy doesn't like to be sad. Now remember, that damage estimate was just for the first hit of her sadden. Because she gets the double sadden, we're very effective. And you, honestly, maybe you just stays right here. With Yvonne having slightly more armor than he does, I think I'm okay with her potentially getting attacked twice. I think we should be okay. Yeah, that's a very small amount of damage. Obviously, Sekhmet's avatar is going to do more. Not even that much more, though. Weak against enrage. Okay. This is probably a good time for one of these. Yeah, this is gonna be... this is gonna be a slaughter in a second here. Wow, that's actually not even that much damage. Oh, still 25 armor even after the reduction. I think maybe I want to encourage Earl rather than attacking with you this turn. Since it looks like it's going to be a couple of turns of shooting, we can get the bonus from Earl being confident a couple of times, and it'll probably end up being more total damage than you would have dealt this turn. Especially since you has lower damage than Earl in the first place. Yeah, she's going to have to do that like 3 or 4 more times before it matters. This is what I was saying. Like, probably it's really difficult to defeat the incarnation of Sekhmet if you have to do it with, like, a sword or some arrows. But guns and dynamite are very destructive. Like, really, really effective. Although they probably had the basic idea of whips back then, too. Enough! It is clear I am not yet ready to raise war and curses over your kid. I need to rest another 4,000 years. Speech defense permanently increased by 5 for everybody. That's cool. Man, we really, we've done very well on study tokens for an adventure that was not really about study. And she disappears. When everything clears up, it seems she has left something behind. A mask of pure gold and precious metals. Another one. We can put it next to the other thing. We can put it next to that Snaferu mask. Okay. These are good bonuses. This is also a good bonus. That's a lot of study. But, I mean, we can't not take 4 treasure hunt tokens, right? Especially with how buff our treasure hunt tokens are now. Yeah, look at that. Yep. As you pick up the mask, the temple starts shaking. This whole goddess reviving thing has left the temple a tad unstable. It's collapsing and you're running out of time, but Earl refuses to leave without some of the treasure, because you know how Earl is. That's fine. The crew's about to run when you looks back. Earl's mesmerized by the treasure. You can't leave him behind. Is that treasure really worth your life, man? After you throws a punch to snap Earl out of it, the whole crew starts running. But not without Earl smuggling some gold. Unfortunately, we have no scouts and no quick thinkers, and minus 40% from Earl being terrible, so we lose. If we had a tool, we could get this up to a 10% chance or a 15% chance to work. We could have pulled that off. Oh well, we don't get the tokens. Oh no, you're trapped. You almost made it out while leaving spoils behind, but the entrance collapsed in front of you. Earl's starting to panic. Are you stuck here for the rest of your life? That's when a huge steam drill opens the entrance. Who's that? Why, it's Rivaloo. Oh, hello. Don't you know this place isn't safe for amateurs? He was more frustrated than relieved at being saved by your rival. Ah, see, this text is what it usually says, but it should be different when used the captain, I think. I am here to investigate a sinister group called the Anti-Explorers. Have you seen anything? Yeah, we heard some things. You tell them about Sekhmet being raised by the Anti-Explorers to destroy the renowned explorers. Rivaloo looks worried, but then continues. I'll handle this matter myself. Now, why are we still here? This place has been explored. Let's move out. One thing I kind of like about this game, if you pay attention to the characterization of Rivaloo over the course of your adventures, you'll realize that while he's pompous, there's no two ways about that, he actually is pretty much just a good dude. Like, he builds orphanages and, like, your explorers are annoyed by him because he's positioned as a rival, but with most crews, he is an objectively better person than you are, and I think that's really funny. So we get 12 encounter tokens from our Explorer Showdown thing. This crew story coming up during the first expedition has just been bananas for us. I'm curious to see how many of these we got. Also, 9 treasure hunts. Only because we failed to get one right at the end. That's like an okay amount of money right there. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. So we're catching up on him rapidly, and we have 2 more expeditions to go. It goes without saying that we will be victorious. With that great adventure behind you, you can send a report to an explorer-welcoming city. This will unlock new possibilities on the world map, but you can only unlock 1 city per expedition. So we can still open up Constantinople, But now we have the option of opening up Sydney or Timbuktu as well. Sydney is going to give us a new equipment shop. However, the equipment there is very good for us. However, there's a research paper in our current exploration branch that's going to open Sydney up for us. So, I'm a little torn here. I kind of don't want to take Timbuktu. Timbuktu gives you new jobs where you can spend your insight, and they're better than these jobs. Each one of these Timbuktu jobs is like 2 of these smushed together. The thing is, after the next expedition, we're going to open up an even better insight spending place that I think is where we're going to put all of our insight. So it would be a little bit of a waste to open up Timbuktu. I think we're going to get Constantinople for the extra little trinket shop, mostly. And then we'll open up Sydney through our research tree. Provided that that's still how it works. I haven't played the game in long enough that I know some things have changed, and now I'm really nervous and I wish I could look at this. I don't know why this menu is closed to you. I think I'm right, though. Let's go to Constantinople. Sultan has learned about your recent quest and is impressed by your bravery. Mani Sultan would like to invite you to the Topkapi Palace, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these correctly, to recruit an entourage among the Ottoman elite. Okay. Please tell me that it still works this way? Yes, okay. So the hyperspeed airship unlocks the New Orleans and Sydney equipment shops if you don't already have them, plus a secret shop with very expensive special trinkets in it. So obviously, we're going to want effective equipment, plus 1 hidden treasure every time you, or 1 treasure hunt every time you find a treasure, another 3 supply capacity. So we want this and this and this very badly. And then we will get this, but we don't necessarily need it right this second. I think these were all important to pick up right now. We'll get by without the Sydney equipment shop being available to us for this expedition, and then we'll get this research paper before the next one is over, obviously. And we'll have all of our money then. We'll be able to buy lots of cool stuff. So, what else needs doing? We do have to spend 2 insight before we move on. We can only bank 7. But I want to spend some of our status first, I think. Let's figure out what we're doing with our status. So we've unlocked a new status shop. A new entourage shop here. Okay, people that give perks plus a token whenever you enter certain kinds of challenges. People that just give double token whenever you enter certain kinds of challenges. Oh, here's Ilmiz. We just met her. This is the important part here. The 3rd level specialist in the Turkish bath just puts a bunch of extra resources into one of your token types. So I'm not sure whether we want to go... I'm a little bummed about this, actually. There's a bunch of these, right? There's 2 for each token type that this group is drawn from. There's a pool of 2 from each token type that give you the other resources from that type. And I was really hoping for campaign from collect or study. Because it's hard for us to get campaign right now, and we're going to a place that's going to award us a bunch more collect and study. It's a little awkward. I mean, that said, we're definitely doing this. So what am I going to spend my insight on? That's part of what we have to figure out here. We get... If we got another level of archaeologist onto you somehow, we would get 2 encounter tokens while performing studies. And right now, you performing a study gets us 32 to 48 research. I'm wondering if it would be better for us to do... No, definitely not. So we could pick up this specialist, gold from study tokens. We're going to get a bunch of study tokens on the next expedition anyway. This will turn out to be a lot of money. And then the last level is, okay, just like the first level. Symbolism. Is that... Yeah, that's the one I took. It would be cool to get this guy to maximum archaeologist. Actually, you know what? The next time we come back to town, we're probably not going to spend insight on study too much, though. The papers are getting so expensive now, it's unlikely we'll be able to buy a paper with, buy too many papers with our insight. So I'm wondering if maybe we'd be better off trying to focus on benefiting this by making Yvonne a high-level diplomat instead. She's level 2 right now, and one of that's coming from a piece of equipment. Yeah, I don't know. Because what does she get when she goes to 30 to 45 status? We get like half of that from doing this, and then we also make a bunch of money. Okay, before we spend any tokens, though, let's see what other specialists we have available to us that can increase our payout, and then also we might buy some helpers, right? So here we have some more guys who give resources from tokens. Also some decent perks. We don't have languages, do we? No. So we can pick up diplomat languages, although research from green tokens is not great. We really want to get stuff from our yellow and blue tokens, because those are the ones we'll be picking up most. Blue tokens especially. Like, this is compelling. Does she have Astonishing? She doesn't. We could make her a level 4 Beguiler. Or we could give Steam Engines to Earl, which we just declined. So I do want him to be a good engineer. Especially since one of the campfire cards we still have yet to pull gives someone an attack bonus for every level of engineer they have. And this would give us a good source of status. We could pick up some more athlete or quick thinker. This is the athlete perk that we're getting from the machete, but if we took off the machete and then picked this, we could replace that with some other better trinket. I think I'm going to go for Wild Whistlin' Willie here. We get a lot of study tokens. And this will be relevant right now, because we're about to spend insight on study. So let's give Earl Steam Engines. And then here, we could take some more gold from study. We could take Naturalist Geology. We already have Survivalist Cooking on Earl from the event. Tactician Weapons Expert. That's one he has already, unfortunately. Or Archaeologist Excavation, which is also one that he has already. We could drop it. We could drop the Trowel and Broom, get this, and put something else in this slot, but honestly, the speech defense thing is pretty relevant too. So none of these are really blowing my mind. It wouldn't be the end of the world to have a naturalist. We could give that to you. Have him make even more rolls. But maybe we should just buy helpers. Yeah, just like really, really buff our encounter tokens since we're getting so many of them every adventure. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to buy helpers with the rest of our status. We'll hold off. No, we won't. I have just enough status left to still do this. This is going to be relevant. We're going to get a lot of study tokens in the next adventure. It would have been bad not to take that, I think. Alright, so this is the best total resource payout of all of our currently available options. It is pretty good. It's hard to argue with. And then we have 3,000 gold to spend. So we don't necessarily want to go super heavy. We're still going to buy stuff in Sydney. We're still going to buy stuff from the last shop. So let's figure this out. Our defenses are not great. In particular, Yvonne could really use a little bit of love there. And then we could buy some just like mid-level holdover offensive items. We should probably get the Tactician's Notes. That's pretty significant. And that's a level of Tactician that he doesn't have. You know what? I think I am going to end up dropping the Trowel and Broom. It still was probably right for me to take the Specialist that I took, though. It's going to turn out to be a lot of money. Yeah, alright. Let's move the Trowel and Broom over for now. We'll buy this. So as long as Earl is standing next to you, he is really shooting extremely hard. He doesn't even have an item, by the way. He's just generating all that violence by himself. So we could definitely upgrade our defensive items a little bit here. I'm a little bit loath to spend too much money, because I know that the equipment that you unlock from the special shop is very expensive, but I don't know how expensive, so I'm just a little want to save up. So she has seduction already. This would be a trinket slot for a single point of beguiler. We can do better. Naturalist and engineer levels. Tactician. Does he have offense? He doesn't. That would put him at level 5. We lose our point of athlete. What else do we have available? This little trinket shop that we just opened up. Straight armor. A little bit of quick thinker. Diplomat politics plus speech defense when the mood is tyrannizing. So this protects the person wearing it against the speech penalty from being devious while the opponent is friendly. 5 speech power and a naturalist perk. Allies within 1 range do not get the speech defense penalty from escalated. Plus attack power, plus tactician and rogue. This is actually a very good item for Wang Yu. Military history. That's also one he doesn't have. You know, it might be worth it to drop the point of athlete, actually. I know we've already made use of it more than once, but like, this is a very good item for him. And it means that we can be aggressive in the situation where being aggressive is usually worst. Gets in that 5th point of tactician. Yeah, I think that's definitely right. And we'll just give this to Earl. It'll make Wang Yu a little bit less effective in challenges, but like the combat trade-off is very significant. Especially since he wants to be adjacent to everybody anyway for power booster. Yeah, that feels very, very correct. So let's buy some defensive items and then I guess get out of here. Maybe we could buy a cheapo holdover glove for Earl. So we can definitely upgrade your armor. I mean, let's go for it, right? Earl's defenses really aren't that bad, and Yu's are fine. We could upgrade this. Right, we could take him up to Adventure Armor 2. Okay, now we have strong defenses pretty much across the board. Yu is actually the least defended, but he has a huge amount of spirit. The captain gets bonus spirit, and then fighters generally have good spirit progression as well. And then we'll just like buy a cheapo glove, like a good glove, to tide us over here. A little bit extra attack power. Okay, and we'll bank 750 for whatever happens next. Okay, yeah, it feels pretty good. So I think we are headed to the emerged island in a second here. An island which is on no map has emerged from the ocean. This makes the likelihood of finding something special on this island pretty high. I agree with that. So archaeologist and nature challenges, we're good at those. A lot of golden research, those are the things we care about. The other 4-star expeditions are Transylvania, diplomat, beguiler, engineer, quick thinker. It's a very status and research heavy expedition. Lot of really, really great treasure here, but it actually I think is pretty difficult. And the other 4-star is... oh yeah, over here. The Anagogic Archipelago. This one's pretty weird, and we wouldn't necessarily be terrible at it, but the aggressive, friendly, mixed approach that it requires, I think is maybe not a thing that our party's particularly good at. It's a really cool expedition, though. I like it a lot. We're going to do this. I feel very comfortable at the emerged island. We can get some work done over here. After a turbulent voyage, you arrive at a recently emerged island. The ground is still a bit wet, and it smells like rotting fish. Gross. We never go anywhere that smells good. Have you noticed that? You haven't even taken your first steps when you hear the sound of drums. You think you have time to make a plan, but then, without warning, a pair of blow darts fly toward Yvonne. Hit by the dart, she's suddenly unable to speak. A couple of voodoo pirates come running out of the jungle. You'd never thought such a thing existed, except that we specifically made reference to them in dialogue during the last expedition. Also, Yvonne being unable to speak is, first of all, not really going to affect us in combat, and secondly, maybe a good thing. Like, Yvonne's kind of a huge jerk, so... this is a shame. So there's some difficult terrain here, which is reducing our movement range. That means one, you can't plug into these like really nice spaces where you'd be able to get really great fireworks off and stuff. He probably can still get 2. No, he cannot quite. That's a shame. Okay, what do we want to do instead then? Well, we know that Yvonne is going to just whip somebody. Do I want to wait, maybe, like, try to throw an enrage out first? I don't think so. So we can stun these two with Earl's stun that we haven't gotten to use yet. Is there a place he could go where he could stun these two, maybe? I'm just thinking that we maybe don't want to stun one of the ones that we're going to focus damage on. So I'll move to here, give her the Corsair buff, or give her the attack damage buff. I kind of want to attack first so that we'll be hostile, and we'll get a bonus to the power of our enrage, or the bonus to the power of our enrage. But maybe we should just go enrage first, so that we have the grit bonus during their turn, since we're not going to be able to defeat any of them this turn. I guess only 2 of them will get to act. We're not really in any danger. But still, grit bonus is a good thing to have. And this way, this guy's enraged first, so she hits harder. I think there are a lot of good decisions to be made in combat in this game. They are terrified by the fact that he just shot a bomb out of a gun at them. That's the most destructive thing anyone at this time has ever witnessed. What if we took a bomb, but also a gun? What if bomb and gun? Alright, come on, please do enough damage. Her, the predicted damage for the attack was slightly below his health bar, so she might have not pulled that off. But we were able to roll higher than minimum. Alright, so we'll give them a blast from the fireworks. This will tank their attack damage for the next turn. They're about to unstun, so it would be beneficial to us to start removing them from the table. Man, our party's really good at fighting. We're not really good at too many other things. I guess archaeology. Our party's really good at archaeology and fighting. We're basically like, what if Indiana Jones had no concern for the cultural impact of his actions? I guess probably we should have Earl attack the one that has more health, and then together I'm sure that you and Yvonne can finish off the other one. Oh, she can speak again. I don't know that I want to do that, though. Yeah, that's going to cause a big boost in devious points, and it's going to reduce our aggressive points by switching us off of aggressive. Let's just hit dudes. This is a little bit safer, and there's no danger from one enemy being left alive for a turn. Oh, and the game just crashed. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll just let's relaunch here. Sorry about that, guys. I guess there's the danger. They heard me say there's no danger from there only being one enemy, and that guy was like, I'll show him. This is a serious existential threat. When left alone, this particular voodoo pirate can unmake reality. Oh, it just put us at the first node without concluding the combat, so we didn't get the token payout from the combat. Oh no! Well, that's a bummer. I mean, I guess we'll live, but yeah, a bummer. I earned those tokens. You spot an oddly shaped rock in the distance. On closer inspection, it's the shape of a skull. Probably to scare people so they don't enter. This story alone will impress people. Yvonne tells the others we shouldn't go in there. It's heavily booby-trapped. It has to be, right? Sorry, it's heavily booby-trapped to protect the treasure. The only word Earl heard was treasure. Well, it's a good thing that he has 3 levels of engineer, I suppose. Here's a question. Do I want to tool this? It's a pretty big payout. We only have 2 tools. We are going to run into some stuff in this adventure that's difficult to pass. The 4 stars start to get pretty hard. I think I'm just going to go for it. 65% is pretty good. It's good-ish. Okay, yeah, we got there. Earl runs greedily into the cave. Every trap is activated, but nothing can keep Earl from whatever treasure is in this cave. Eventually you reach the end, but it seems most of the treasures have already gone. So, well, I mean, there's still a treasure chest here. I'll take that. Listen, I'm not going to be picky. Okay, this is a zero-cost path. We may as well pursue it. You find a beautiful green crystal. Such a rare crystal can give you status. You feel like its existence is no coincidence. This is actually very important. So there's 3 nodes on this island. Each one just has a single resource symbol on it, like that did, matching the color of the crystal you will find there. It's actually very important to our expedition that we find all 3 of these, for reasons that you will understand once we do it. So we got to keep an eye out for a node that just has a gold marker and a node that just has a research marker. Okay. I suppose we'll head over here, so we'll take the less direct path. It has the same resource cost, but it gave us a chance to maybe find the hidden hoard. As you walk through this island's jungle, Earl starts to hear whispers, while nobody else does. Eventually, Earl starts to become insane. Someone needs to make Earl snap out of it by talking. That's okay, I guess. We could flee, but Yvonne could use the XP, actually, from attempting this. And at 5 resolve, losing 1 resolve is not really that scary. Okay, she got there. Yvonne talks to Earl, who calms down after a while. Earl explains that the jungle had started talking, saying they wanted Earl to come with them underwater. Yeah, that's terrifying. I guess we're all fine with it. We're just going to pretend that that's okay and normal. I kind of want to step to here, just so that we can see what that node is, because again, there are some nodes in this jungle that are tremendously important. Aha! Oh hey, it's the hidden hoard. Cool. Treasure hunt, probably. Oh, the paparazzi keep following Yvonne. Being in a good mood, Yvonne decides to give another interview about the acquisition of your latest treasure, in which she makes a derogatory remark about Earl, calling him a cowardly cowboy. Again. And again. Alright, that does it. Earl's had enough of this. Bursting with rage, Earl jumps toward Yvonne and punches her right in the face. Yvonne retaliates, and a fistfight ensues. The journalists are obviously loving this. This is going to be tomorrow's hot topic. I'll shut your mouth with my foot! Yeah, we're definitely going to take encounter tokens over campaign tokens, given how buff our encounter tokens are. Plus, this is funnier. It's a significant effort for you to pull the 2 fighters apart. Yvonne is set aside, who mumbles that he is... aside from Earl, who mumbles that he is, in fact, not a cowardly cowboy. Now, you has to calm things down, which is not really in his skill set. Okay, enough you babies, that's good. Insult them all, that'll help. You tells him to grow up. This is not how explorers behave. Earl should just express his feelings if Yvonne hurts them. And Yvonne should not be such a jerk all the time, especially when talking to the press, or else one day the crew might leave her when she needs them. Once you finishes preaching, the crew can continue exploring. But even though they've made up again, there's still a rivalry between Yvonne and Earl. With this issue brought to a conclusion, Yvonne and Earl will not become besties so easily. That's a way of putting that. So, yeah, this is pretty good. We're generating a lot of rivalry. We're gonna get so many tokens at the end of this adventure. Okay, and this could be the yellow crystal. It was, in fact. I'm so glad I went over there. Alright, we found 2 similar crystals now. You wonder if there's any connection between them. You put the 2 crystals together, but nothing new is discovered. Okay, so obviously we need to find a blue crystal. It's pretty important. We want to get the treasure that's here. There's just a lot of island left to explore. I'm going to go down here. We want to get into encounters wherever we can. This will max out Earl, and it'll show us some more nodes. It's important that we see all the nodes. Okay, that's something. That's interesting. A group of voodoo monkeys is blocking the road. You've waited for a while, but they're not moving, and there's no way around them, so let's fight them. This is what I do every time that there's geese in the road outside my apartment complex. You wait for a while, and then you run in there and you just fight them. In case it's not clear that was a joke, please do not fight geese. It turns out they're actually pretty good at fighting. A goose can really mess you up. Alright, so these guys are not weak to any speech stuff in particular, but they just have no defenses. They do have a lot of health. But no defense is a bad place to be against this party. So, we don't... Oh, that's right. I don't care about being aggressive when they're devious anymore. Everybody just get close up on you and we'll be fine. That said, I do have to open Devious, it looks like. Should I open Aggressive and then put up the 2 points of Devious toward the end? I think so. Let's do it that way. That way we can switch over to Deviousness more easily if we want to. This is not a fight where we have to avoid being devious. This voodoo monkey is saddened beyond words. How could Yvonne say things like that? She's heartless. I should have attacked this monkey with Earl first, because defeating this monkey is going to clear our devious meter. Defeating the monkey with an aggressive attack while aggressive. Yeah, it should have been you, then Earl, then Yvonne. Well, that's not great. Yvonne's sad now, so she will not speech at them as hard. It does not matter at all if Earl is sad. That's totally fine. He tried to just punch her in the face. Alright, well, the bad news for you guys... What? That guy is absolutely within the cone. Okay, hold on. I bet there's an angle we can make this work at. Yeah, there we go. And I have to imagine this is going to set Earl up for a pretty good explosion. Yeah, Earl just casually doing like 160 damage. No big deal. That attack wasn't even fully charged up, by the way. We could have left that off cooldown 1 or 2 more turns and had a bigger explosion. Alright, the monkeys respect you. They make way and let you through. Cool. Campaign token and a level up for Earl. So, plus 0.4 radius on experimentation. This makes it easier to hit more enemies. Or, experimentation drops the target's armor for 2 turns. We're really not having any trouble herding people together for experimentation, and extra armor debuffs are so good for this party. Alright, the only person who's not maxed out now is Yvonne. She needs 10 more XP, so... This is a very awkward node to get to. With the 2 cost in and 2 cost out, we might ignore this one. But I'm gonna, like, circle around all this treasure stuff here. There's a nice group of 1 cost routes available. You hear voodoo pirates doing hard labor and moaning about it. When you inspect closer, you notice they're digging up one of their treasures. Well, you could devise a plan to take them out without a fight, because he's a tactician, but why would I take them out without a fight when I could take them out with a fight? That's just crazy talk. You probably get something extra if you take them out without a fight, but we really do want the supplies and stuff. It's a fairly difficult battle. The good news is, we started Persuasive. I guess that's the good news. I'm not sure why we started Persuasive. So let's, can we get all 3 of them with the insult? We can. And we're just going straight to violence here, but it shouldn't be a problem. Actually, I guess if we want to take maximum advantage of the Corsair aura, though, we do need to be adjacent to everybody. Can Earl finish one of these guys off by himself? He actually can't. He needs to be adjacent to you. Hey, these dudes are just tough. You can shred some armor. I think we just try to burn them down. Stun will only reach 1 from this position. I think the 2 of them working together can get this guy. And because of the Corsair coin, it doesn't matter that we'll be aggressive while they're devious. It's actually a very good item. I don't think that this is what this did last time I played. I think they have upgraded it a little bit. It's a good change. Okay. Oh, never mind. It's not even going to matter. They're going to switch hostile. We're going to take some damage here. I don't think the guys to the left will be able to get to us this turn, but we're going to draw up. Ooh, that one has a ranged attack. It's good that she didn't move. She's got one of those blow dart things that swell the tongues. They can prevent us from speaking. It's not really a huge issue. Alright, 2 people working together can get this guy down, and then the third one can attack the other guy. So whose attack power is highest? Alright. Yvonne's attack power is very slightly lower. So I'll have her finish this guy, and then we'll chuck some dynamite at that dude to soften him up for Earl to take down next turn. And Yvonne and you can turn around and deal with the oncoming force from the west. Actually, probably his health is low enough. I don't know, you might be able to take him out by himself, and then we can have Earl turn around. Is she stuck? Her AI might be broken or something. Because I'm just thinking that, right, we can have Earl do this thing. Yeah, and then we'll just... Apparently it's going to take both of us to take this guy down. No, it's not. That's right, we don't have to strictly attack. We have other... Holy crap, she does so much damage when she speaks. Yeah, we don't have to be strictly in attack mode. There are other things we can do. That said, we do have to, you know, make sure we actually get the aggressive ending. Okay, here she comes. So she has less armor than everybody else, and also she's weak to enrage. I'm going to try to blow her up. Yep. Yep, Deride does enough damage to just completely remove her. And then I think we... Oh, no, we do not have it. No, never mind. We have it. So we'll do this, and then with this guy's armor being all shredded, you should be able to finish it off pretty easily. And we're good on points. 5 to 11. This party, is, in addition to just having really good output, this party has great options. There are a lot of different ways for us to approach every turn, and I really appreciate that. Okay, the Voodoo Pirates drop the treasure and go away. The treasure contains coins and various small treasures, so that's the treasure hunt color. Man, our treasure hunt tokens are very good and extremely numerous. It's a good combination of traits. Okay, so we could take Earl's campfire story now. It increases renown and stuff, and unfortunately I'm pretty sure that we don't get the sort of the payout event until the middle of the expedition after the one where you play the card. So his crew story won't end in time for it to be meaningful to us. Scavenger could be relevant on him if we ever got him a 4th point of survivalist. I don't know that I want to put myself in a position where I have to. We do have 2 journalists in our entourage already. This is just 2 secrets. Or we could take 5 encounter tokens. 2 secrets is way more resources than 5 encounter tokens, though. Each secret is like 50 to 75 status. We don't get the research in gold, but... Or we do get some research still. Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 secrets. Great news from the home front. The journalists you've recruited into your entourage have been very busy. With their effort, they managed to uncover many government secrets. It's great to be surrounded by competent people. Yeah, what must that be like, I wonder? It's a sick burn on Elise, who is not here to hear me do it, so I guess it kind of removes a lot of the point. Well, this is really only a 1-cost path, because we'll get a supply down here at the end of it. And I do want to see... I guess we'll get to see what's over here from this spot anyway. But yeah, let's clear out as many nodes as we can reasonably afford to clear. The crew walks toward the shoreline, happy to be out of this remarkable but oppressive jungle for a moment. Then, Earl stands still. There's a weird noise coming down from under his feet. Uh-oh. There's something in the sand? It's giant crabs. A few of them were hiding under the sand, and now are all over Earl. The giant crabs are actually pretty difficult. They're tough dudes. There aren't a lot of encounters that have the giant crabs in them, but they were added considerably after this zone was first designed, and by the time these guys were added, the developers had a better idea of how to make things difficult, and so the crabs are really quite a lot more dangerous than the other enemies here. So, they have crazy high defenses, but if you use devious actions on them, if you make them angry or sad, they freak out, and they lose a lot of their defenses, they gain a lot of offense. They're also very slow when they're not angry, and then quite fast when they are angry. So I think what we probably want to do here is group insult these guys. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. You know what? They have 80 speech defense. I was going to say, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to open with group insult when we could attack them, right? End up hostile, get a bonus to our group insult damage. But the group insult damage is going to be so low because of this super high base speech defense that I think we should probably just do this, get them to come out of their shell a little bit, and then we might even be able to kill both of them this turn, because boy oh boy, Earl does a lot of damage. Okay, so now in angry mode you can see negative 15 armor, thanks to angry mode plus enraged. Yep, Earl can just take one out straight up. Let's run down here so that the other ones can't get to us. These guys only have 2 move, so we don't have to be too afraid of them. We can't quite take out both of them, but that's fine. Ooh, we might not actually take out either of them. Hold on. Let's not move him yet. Or rather, let's be smart and move him to here so that Earl gets bonus attack damage, so that Earl definitely eliminates one of these guys. What am I thinking? I gotta remember all of the little buffs and pieces of equipment we bought and stuff. Alright, so that guy should be trivial to take down next turn. And we can work these guys over one by one. When they're in their safe mode, their defensive mode, they really do very little damage. So that's actually a pretty hard hit considering how much armor we have. The animation right after the insult landed was priceless. That crab is just so... He was angry, but he also looks so disappointed. I cannot believe you would say a thing like that to a stranger. What are you thinking, man? Who raised you? Alright, this was not too bad. There's an epic encounter that awards a pretty great treasure that requires you to fight a large amount of these crabs and also a special boss crab, and I think it's very, very difficult. It's one of the hardest encounters in the game, in my opinion. This one, not so bad. We were able to get this under control pretty quickly. Alright, those crabs were tough as nails, but you found their weak spot and hit it hard. You won't see them for a while, because of course, they are defeated, not killed. So we'll get another supply here. We'll still be at 9. Go to 8. Go to 7, but probably get some supplies. We should be fine to keep exploring the island. I'm a little worried about how circuitous this path is getting, but we'll be okay. You found the base of the ghost pirate Captain Roche. You remember him? We stole his treasure from that other island. This place is rather sinister and spooky. Time to get to the bottom of this island's mystery and to find a treasure worth taking back home. Wait, no, hold on, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is the ending. I'm just like... I'm not brain real good right now is what's happening. Okay, let's, free supplies. This could be our blue crystal. So I guess we'll loop around the outside a little bit more. I totally brain farted. I was like, this will be another special node. Yeah, we'll loop back around. We'll come through here. So we want to come down here and see if this is our crystal. It is. So we take the crystal. You've found 3 similar crystals now. You put them together to see if anything happens. As soon as the third one gets close, they respond, start shaking, and eventually melt together into one big clear crystal. So we could take the crystal, get a treasure. And it's a pretty good treasure normally. It allows you to get a bunch of bonus renown from one of your resources. But the boss of this island is the Ghost Pirate Roche. Because he is a ghost, obviously, it is difficult to kill him with a gun. If you smash this crystal, you get all the 3 crystals, combine them together, and then destroy this. You take the crystal and destroy it. It shatters into blue, yellow, and green pieces. A weird shadow-like thing leaves the crystal and flies away. How weird. What we just did is we made Captain Roche corporeal. Now we can hit him with aggressive stuff and actually defeat him. That would have been a tough fight for our party otherwise. There's some sleeping voodoo pirates who made up camp, probably tired from digging treasures. You might steal some of their possessions. Hell yeah, let's steal some of their possessions. We could paint their faces. That's funny, I guess. Let's steal their supplies. Who will steal the supplies? You know, we're not great at this. This is definitely something we could tool. But actually, what are the other options exactly? So we get a treasure hunt token. And, you know, other stuff. Or we could paint their faces just for some campaigns. Okay. We're at 7 supplies right now. I think I do want their supplies. We'll go ahead, we'll tool this, and I'll take the 67 because I'd like the other token payout here. This is exactly the kind of situation we have these tools for. Alright, you successfully steal some of the pirates' supplies. 4 supplies is a pretty good payout. While walking through the Caribbean jungle, the crew finds a place filled with coral. It seems some places on the island appear more affected by the ocean than others. There are some valuable-looking corals, but mostly just very interesting ones. We'll lose a resolve if we fail to collect them, but our odds are pretty good. I think I'm okay with taking the 57% chance against a resolve. There's no reason we need 5 resolve. And as always, we're looking for those tokens, right? Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Not only are no interesting conclusions found, but Yvonne gets poisoned by one of the corals. That is pretty bad. So this is going to be... It's going to be 2 to get in here no matter how we go about it. I guess we'll just take the direct path. I don't really need to hit this node now that I know there's just gold here and nothing else. Actually, I suppose let's do it because I don't want to leave a bunch of nodes behind while we have money. Or while we have lots of supplies. Alright, you hear voices while traveling the island. You quietly follow the direction they're coming from and find a guarded hut. Luckily for you, the guards are busy insulting and chasing some voodoo monkeys. You enter the hut while Earl is on the lookout. It's a weapons store. You don't have much time, so you take some valuable-looking ones. And with you, the expert tactician, with you, you're certain you've grabbed the best. Really? 2 collect tokens is the best weapons? That probably has some better results under other circumstances. I don't know what those would be, but... Alright. So why don't we head up here? We'll plan to come at this node from this path, the 1-cost path. We'll see. We'll see what's up here. Make our decisions. You notice a desolated hut standing in the middle of the jungle with a light burning. You peek inside and see a voodoo pirate. But he's sculpting. It does not seem dangerous at all. Well, I mean, let's go talk to him, I guess. You step into the hut and the voodoo pirate is terrified. You calm him down and eventually he feels comfortable. He explains that he's the crew's sculptor, which is a thing that every pirate crew needs. He makes statues and other art for Captain Roche, and sometimes other legends. So we could ask him if he needs help. We could ask him to make a statue of us. I mean, the payout for this is pretty low. I'm kind of curious. I don't remember what happens if you do this. Let's ask. The voodoo sculptor is happy you ask, since he could use you as a model in order to get a better statue for Captain Roche. He thanks you and promises to only say good things about you. Oh, okay. Well, we should have taken the role with Yvonne, because she could still use the XP, but alright. We have to start curving back inwards. So it would take 2 to get up to this node. Yeah, this is kind of awkward to reach. It's just too expensive. There's too many 2-cost nodes, or 2-cost paths in this jungle. Oh, there we go. That's that dangerous crab encounter. There's a clearing in the middle of the forest. You first assume it's a natural clearing, but Earl notices this is actually the place where a village must have been. Excavating here could reveal research. Well, I guess there's no reason to go after this with Yvonne, since she's not going to level up before the difficult fight ahead of us anyway. Let's just let you handle it. An excavation site is set up with you as the leader, who determines where to dig. Soon enough, old foundations and items are uncovered. What a discovery. Yeah, it's alright. So this way means we have to pay 3 resources to get up here, but also we get supplies. But also we get a supply. It's going to be expensive to get out of here no matter what path we take. It's 2 and 2. Yeah, I guess we'll go down here, get the supplies from this fight, and then we'll do this. Yeah, if I had taken the Yvonne roll at the hut, that would have been good. Yvonne could have been max level before we go into the crab battle. As you walk through a wooded area, you're suddenly face to face with a strange voodoo pirate. You're both surprised to see one another. But he is not alone. He has 2 pet monkeys. You both sense you cannot leave here as things are. Yeah, sure. Let's approach in a hateful manner. It's kind of the only thing we're good at. Alright, well this should be relatively easy, I think. Can I get them all with group insult from here? No, not quite. Yeah, and the difficult terrain is going to make it really awkward to get any closer to them. Maybe I hold back and let them come to us? Or can the fireworks... Okay, I could get those 2 guys with fireworks. Maybe the thing to do here is just to take group insult on the 2 of them. Then we fireworks them. And then I'm going to swap to aggressive here by shooting one of them in the face. This might actually take out the monkey. Oh, and I'm out of range for a normal attack. Yeah, okay. Let's try this. And we're all adjacent to you, so we won't suffer the penalty. Oh, that's right. It doesn't swap us if it doesn't finish that guy off. I didn't have enough points of aggressiveness yet. Aww. That monkey doesn't think I'm cool. I've never been sadder. Oh, they're extra sneaky monkeys. You know, the encounter text just said the guy and his 2 pets. I trusted it. What a fool I am. Okay, I might just... hold on. You guys, stay over there for a second. We'll be right with you. Can we take this guy out? Possibly. Let's try. Okay, good. And then Yvonne can move through... Ooh, he's not protected. Oh, but I guess the only enemies near him are stunned. And you is blocking the bottleneck, so nobody else can get through. This will probably take this monkey out, right? Because she'll get that second hit. Yeah. Okay, the situation is back under control. It's kind of crazy that they swapped to hostile when you're hostile, even if they're already devious. Seems like maybe not the best strategy. Alright, fortunately, sadness does not make you any worse at attacking. Yeah, this should be fine. This shouldn't push us over on devious. We're at 7-7. And then we get the final blow with an aggressive attack and we're fine. Okay. We pushed it a little bit there. I used just barely not too many devious attacks. Right, the Voodoo Pirate is immensely scared, picks up his monkeys and runs the other way. Good, get out of here. Alright. This is going to be tough. Good rewards, though. That said, there's some challenges to face before we even get here. We might not get to the crab fight because we might fail the earlier challenges. A pristine mangrove. This area seems untouched by any voodoo work. This means that even those voodoo goons couldn't get past this area. Whatever you're going to find here, it's going to be very dangerous. Of course we'll continue. The mangrove stands before the crew. It's both magnificent and scary in its untouched nature. After taking some time to observe the saltwater swamp, someone steps forward to say something. Let's move out, but I'm not taking the lead. Alright, the mangrove has many places to go. First, the crew needs to determine what they're looking for. A naturalist might find some interesting clues, although the options are overwhelming. Well, let's tool it. I would like to be successful here. And it is technically better for us to get these rewards We could take the roll with Yvonne, and if we pass... Oh, there's a speech penalty for failure. You know what? Let's do this with Earl, because we really don't want to take a speech penalty on Yvonne. I was trying to, you know, get her max level as soon as possible. Wait a minute. There is most certainly some impressive life form present in these mangroves. Earl follows the clues in a curious frenzy, while the crew is having a hard time keeping up with it. Where's he leading us? Earl's little treasure hunt leads you to a very, very murky area of the mangrove with a strong current. It's gross, it's tough to go through, and you'll have a very hard time taking all your supplies with you. You ponders on what to do. If only someone was athletic enough to carry the supplies. So, we could bail. We could pay a resolve and a supply. Or we can just have Earl carry everything, potentially pay a resolve and 2 supplies. But there's a coin flip that we won't have to pay anything. I'm going to take the coin flip. Against the extra point of supplies. Oh, that looks bad. Okay. Whew. Had me going there for a second. Earl smells like the London sewers and is absolutely disgusted, but he managed to carry everything to a more traversable area. A Herculean effort. I mean, this is basically what... He has the same haircut as Hercules, so we shouldn't be surprised. Then the crew arrives at a place that should have been pristine. A beautiful natural clearing with many exotic flowers, but it's vandalized. Who would come here to cut these old trees and stampede on these flowers? Who would do such a thing? It turns out, out of the blue, a group of monsters emerges from the mud. Crabs, and one of them is obviously the king crab. Of course, these crabs must have crabbed all over the place. Typical crab behavior. These darn crabs. The jerks turn themselves to the crew. It seems like they're out to ruin your day as well. Time to make those crabby menaces stop. Alright, this is a difficult encounter. We're going to get a nice treasure from it, provided we survive. And the payout is pretty good. It has a discovery token in it, and yeah. Alright. So this dude follows the same rules as the other crabs, except more so, you know? All the numbers are turned up. We should probably try to take these guys out first. More crabs will keep spawning in from the edges of the area, just like in any boss fight, but they spawn in their not angry state, which is going to make it difficult for them to actually get over to us to fight us. So the king crab is angry if any other crab is angry. So we actually... It's pretty important that we get this right. Do I need to... Is this the right lineup? You doesn't actually have to be over here yet. And in fact, you should probably be here, right? Because we need to make sure that you can hit both of them with the fireworks. Yeah. So I'll put her over here. I'm just trying to get her away from the other enemies. Alright, we were able to blow up 2 crabs pretty easily during the last encounter, right? So this should be doable. We actually want to lead with the experimentation because it'll shred their armor a little bit, and then that'll let the fireworks work. It kind of looks like we're not going to get them though. Yeah, it sure does, huh? We might get crabbed real hard here. We'll be okay. We'll figure it out. So I just want to shoot one of them? I guess let's go for it. With the armor debuff, we might do enough damage. Nope, we won't. Well, then I suppose there's no reason to use the AoE at all. Let's just take one of them down. We'll save his fireworks thing for after he gets injured so that he can get healed by it. With any luck, first of all, the other crabs will have spawned on the far right of the arena, which means we won't have to deal with them for a long time. And secondly, the king crab will go after you. Excellent. Although I guess it would have been fine for him to go after Yvonne too, because she also has a heal. Okay, so we can defuse this whole situation by just having nobody be angered. Maybe I should enrage one of them first. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. So we can take this guy down pretty easily. He has 80 speech defense, so it would be best if you moved. But we want him to move to a place where he can still get the fireworks off, not between them. And if I move to here, move you to here, move Yvonne to here, she can finish this guy off. That'll mean nobody's angry anymore. And then we could anger this crab and probably take him down in the same move. But if we don't have this crab available to use to attack, we might not really be able to do any meaningful damage to the boss. So why don't we just take it easy for a second here. We can put some work on this crab even through his armor. Earl really does a lot of damage. We'll just take a hit here from them in not enraged mode. The other crabs that spawned in... Oh, it said another wave of crabs approaches. I guess they have not yet actually spawned. It's just giving me a warning that they will. Okay, that's nice. And you... Yeah, okay. Should not die from this. Alright. Now is probably the time to make some stuff happen. So... what is the power of this up to? Okay, this is not one of the ones that charges up over time. So we can, I can throw an enrage over here. I don't want to use hers, I want to save hers. Throw an enrage over here, do fireworks. It might kill the crab, in which case it'll settle him down while still dealing a hit to him while he's angry. And then, if stuff doesn't work out, we can use Yvonne's turn to correct. But I might want to step Earl, like, way back. Just try to make it harder for the Crab King to get in on him. Alright, so this will enrage both of them. And actually, you know what we might need to... yeah, we're going to need to use Yvonne to finish off the little crab, I think. That's fine. Okay, that's not really that much healing. I'm a little concerned at how little healing that was. You might actually get taken out here. Okay. He calmed down because there weren't any crabs enraged, then re-freaked out because I'd done a devious thing, then calmed down again because no crabs are enraged. Alright, it's probably better for him to go after Earl this turn than it would be for him to go after you. Although he did break Earl's confidence, which is a shame. So, it's been quite a few rounds here, and we're on 13 damage. If we enrage him personally, it says he isn't as easily provoked as his crab friends. So if I enrage him personally, does that mean he doesn't get angry? It's been a little while since I've done this fight. I admit I do not super remember. Let's try it and find out what happens. Okay, yeah. A different crab has to be in an angered state. That's fine. So this might be an okay time to just throw a heal out. Let's try to buy ourselves some health back. Making Wang Yu impressed is not super great for us, but it's not like the crabs are going to use any speech attacks. Alright, and we can still do some damage through his armor. And then we can use these crabs over here to give us openings on this next turn. So we'll have a final group of crabs joins the battle. Okay, so I guess they don't respawn infinitely. There's just a few. Okay, so if we enrage one of these guys and then kill him right afterward, we can get a swing in. Okay, those guys are way across. Yeah, so it's like enrage one of these guys, then attack the Crab King while his defenses are down, and then take out the crab that we enraged so that he's no longer a problem. This might be a good time for a deride. Because it'll do an unusually large amount of damage while healing her. Make it easier to take this dude out. Alright, so the best version of this is you finishes off the crab after Earl takes the shot. So can you do enough damage? Yes, okay, good. So Earl gets a nice clean shot on the Crab King. Alright, and then you makes it so there are no more angry crabs. And we can do a version of that again next turn. So that's pretty good for us. I guess the best version of this thing for next turn involves her getting group insult on both this crab and the king crab. I don't think we're going to be able to pull that off given their positions. And actually, group insult is considerably less damaging than Deride was, so we might have to use Earl to finish this guy off instead of Wang Yu, which means Wang Yu might have to be the one who hits the crab boss. And actually, Earl's low enough that even if he gets hit by a non-enraged crab boss, he will go down. So maybe that's a thing to consider. Yeah, that was a thing to consider before I started doing stuff for the turn, probably. So we could heal Earl, but if we did, it would just be Earl finishes off the crab afterward. That's probably fine. If I leave Earl down here, he's definitely going to go down. Yeah, we'll just have Earl run up here. Throw a heal on him. I'll get him re-confident, which is good for us. 117, not bad. Oh, he does move fast enough even when in defensive form that he can still hit Earl. Probably hard enough to bring him down, is my guess. He's going for it. Okay, okay. Just barely not hard enough. So I'm going to move Earl to here, Yvonne to here, and then Earl back to here. Now the King Crab cannot affect him. And now I guess we just, like, rain damage on him till the other dudes show up. We can't really do any, like, good damage, but might be good to throw some heals, I guess. Although we don't super need to, yeah, you know what, let's just hit him. I probably should at least give another turn or two of Wang Yu's healing to Earl. It's good to keep him confident, but he can't be at this low of a level of health when the other crabs show up. It's probably bad for us. Alright, we have 2 turns left on the cooldown of Deride, I think. Yeah, 1 turn now. So we used Deride on one of the approaching crabs. They're only going to make it to, like, here. We might even have to let them approach another full turn. Let's get Earl to a place where he can at least survive 1 hit. And I mean, we're still doing meaningful damage. It's not that low. Alright. Let's see if we can execute the plan. It looks like we should be able to. So we step over here. I don't get to be adjacent to them to drop their speech defense, but I think we should be okay anyway. Alright, so we hit him pretty hard, get quite a lot of healing. Stand over here. Okay. So, everything just like last time. We get a good clean... Oh, actually, we don't even have to execute the full plan this time. Earl's just got 100 damage for this dude. Okay, I'm pleased with the way that went. That can be a very difficult fight. Ha! The foolish crustacean is no match for the supreme explorer. The beast is a goner. The crew takes the king crab for taxidermy. Everyone will know what happens to bullies like this fellow. Oh, this is quite good. So we get a collect token for each encounter that we've gotten, so we could get 36 collect tokens. That's not bad, but I think it's gotta be 7 treasure hunts, right? That's gonna be like 7, it's gonna be over 700 gold most likely. 36 collect tokens does not compare. Yeah, this is very good for our linear. Alright, I'll take that, thank you. That sure was a weird adventure. The crew feels like they suffered a bit more than normal in these mangroves. As the crew leaves the mangrove, they talk about their crabby adventure. Yu thinks it's worth it. Yvonne, however, thinks you suffered a bit too much there just to bring back a giant dead crab. In any case, everyone's happy to get out of there. Alright, so we're at 6 supplies. Yeah, we definitely have enough supplies to hit this. So we go to 4, 3, 1, but maybe get some supplies. I think I'll skip this node. Just in case we don't hit the supplies, in case there's a roll that we can't make or something. As you walk through the darkness of the night, you see some glowing plants. You try to pick them, but they're spectral. What a rare find. Okay. That wasn't a very exciting node. You were doing some individual scouting when someone encountered a physically demanding challenge. Probably Earl, right? He's the athlete now. Earl was scouting the dense jungle on the emerged island when suddenly he finds something extraordinary. Some voodoo monkeys are toying around with a remarkable item, a voodoo ritual book. Now that's a treasure you might be interested in studying. Sadly, the monkeys notice you and make away with great haste. You could try to follow them, but it won't be easy. Of course I try to follow them, what are you thinking? Alright, Earl starts chasing the monkeys at full speed. However, those cheeky buffoons take an overgrown path, a true challenge to run through. Following them directly will save time, but it's also quite risky. You know what? It's not that risky. Let's go for it. It's always got to show you the skull. Remember, I could have made you fail. Earl's feet expertly fly from one trunk to another while speeding through the jungle. What a show of agility and strength. Earl is even faster than those monkeys and gains ground on them. What's this? The voodoo monkeys have had enough of Earl and start throwing coconuts at him. Big twist. These ones are actually fresh. Earl could take some time collecting coconuts for supplies, but that would look embarrassingly silly. I don't think we have to, though, right? I think 3 supplies is enough to get us where we're going. So we could really increase our chances of getting the treasure. I think 3 supplies is enough, right? We're moving to a treasure node and then out, and they're both 1. Yeah, I don't think we have to go for this. No way Earl's gonna get distracted by some coconuts. Earl dodges the fruity projectiles to give chase to those little rascals. I need that book. This is it. Both Earl and the monkeys are getting tired. This last test of strength and agility will determine whether Earl will triumph over these black art baboons. So... It turns out we could have taken a minus 20% on this and still had a 100% chance of succeeding. Oh well. Amazing. With the final chase, Earl corners the monkeys. Tired from the run, they give up and donate the voodoo ritual book as tribute. That's right, monkeys. Praise your superior, Earl the Chaser. Earl has finally proven that he's superior to some random monkeys we found in the jungle. So 10 to 15 gold from treasure hunt or 3 secret tokens. It is 3, right? Yeah. 3 secret tokens versus 10 to 15 gold 13 times. I think the secret tokens... We're going to get at least 1 more treasure hunt token because we'll get one when we fight the boss. We're probably going to get another one because there's a treasure node between here and there. I kind of think that this is the way to go. Yeah, I'm going to take this. The unique ecology of the merged island makes it an interesting subject of biological study. The crew takes some notes and continues exploring. An interesting location for sure. Okay, there was a treasure icon here. I'm sure that this treasure is locked behind, like, having a lot of levels of biologist or something. Alright, let's get out of here. Pretty good expedition, all told, even though I kind of brain farted a little bit at the beginning. So you quietly sneak into Roche's camp, where you hear a loud voice talking. As you get closer, you hear Captain Roche giving a speech to a giant group of voodoo pirates. We have waited patiently for another 50 years on this cursed island, withstanding the horrible smell and the depressing humiliation of the voodoo monkeys. But finally we have emerged once more so that we can take our revenge on the Spanish. So sharpen your blades, clean your blowpipes, and practice your spells, because soon we sail our ghost ship toward Havana and cause chaos. A loud, overwhelming cheer erupts from the crowd. A few minutes later, the pirates are making preparations, with Roche standing in the middle of the base. There's no way to get to him without alerting all the voodoo pirates. That's what you think. We can make a distraction. So we could prepare some kegs of gunpowder. That's a pretty good distraction, and we're pretty good at it. Or we could have Earl fire a flare gun. No, let's do the one that explodes. That really feels like it's more sort of within our idiom. You look around the empty, non-guarded buildings of the camp and search for things you can use. Then you spot several kegs of gunpowder. A plan is devised in which a large part of the encampment is blown to bits. Someone needs to carefully wire and place these kegs. Who will it be? Obviously it will be Earl. As much as I would like these payout, it is pretty important that we pass this, actually. This fight will be considerably easier if we succeed here. Alright. Earl places the kegs in strategic places, and then once they're all in place, lights the fuse. An enormous bang, followed by a mushroom cloud, wipes out much of the camp. Many of the voodoo pirates turn into strange purple smoke. The only ones left are Captain Roche, who is strangely untouched, despite standing close to a keg, and a handful of voodoo pirates. Alright, let's do this. You walk toward Captain Roche, who sees you and seems quite angry. Who are you? Was it you who caused this chaos? You look like Spanish dogs to me. Let's punch him in the face. Let him know what's up. You punch Captain Roche right on the nose. He cries out in pain. What? What kind of trickery is this? How did you do that? He charges forward in rage. Yeah, I'm not afraid of a ghost. Listen, do you know how many monkeys I've had to fight to get here? I'm not afraid of a ghost. Plus, think of all the supplies we'll get when we shoot him. So it's just going to be some basic voodoo pirates, and then also this guy. It says he's physically immune here, but that's not actually correct, because we destroyed the thing. This text probably should change. So he just has 30 armor, and he's actually weak against enrage. I think this is probably a really good time for us to throw out that first group insult. Soften all these dudes up. And remember, we don't have to care about him being devious as long as we're all standing next to you. Oh, I should have... You has that aura. He should have been standing next to Earl before I did that, because that was... We just missed out on some damage there. Alright, we'll make it easy to finish this guy off with the area fireworks attack next turn. And everybody is adjacent to you, so they're all getting the benefit of the Corsair aura. That said, yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they're just going to switch to hostile and try to kill us. Sorry, try to defeat us and make us go home. Wow, that pirate spawned in really close to us. Alright, I don't think it matters. Alright, so let's do this, and then we should have a pretty good attack here. Yeah. That is not bad. 95. If only Earl could have been confident first. Oh wow, she can just kill him with Deride like that. That will actually remove him from the fight entirely. But when you defeat a boss, you get a lot of points of the attitude of the attack you defeated him with, and I actually think it's possible that defeating him with Deride would bring us to a devious ending. So we can wait a turn. We don't have to blow him up right now. Are you weak against sadness? You are. Why don't we just have her go and peel this dude off? Stay out. This is an exclusive fight. You're not on the list. He's like Oh no, it's true. I'm not on the list. I think we probably have this turn. Well, maybe not. I thought you was going to do more damage than that. Oh no, never mind. We're good. Man, she has defeated so many very impressive supernatural enemies with that whip. Ah, you're no better than a Spanish dog. You have defeated me and my men, but we'll be back. You'd better be ready, as we do not age, but you do. And he throws a spectral peg leg at you for some reason, like that's a reasonable thing to do. You pick up his anchor, which became physically touchable when Captain Roche detached it from its body. Its impressive weight will bring fame to your athletes. What a fine treasure. Is it, though? It's just an anchor. So we could immediately take 4 encounter tokens for each level of athlete. That's pretty bad. This is another 12 encounter tokens. 2 treasure hunts is pretty good. 12 encounter tokens is going to be in the neighborhood of... Actually, it's going to be considerably over 200 gold. And a bunch of status, and... Yeah, no, we take 12 encounter tokens, right? Yeah, it's 12. Right? It makes me nervous when he recommends something and it's like, is my math bad? But no, I think this is right. What an adventure. Voodoo pirates, voodoo monkeys, and even a meeting with the notorious Captain Roche. Memories relived every time you look at that great treasure you collected. Again, it's just an anchor. Alright, let's get out of here. So we're very close to the end of the game, and honestly, I think this is going quite well. This is, we're in a good position here. Didn't come away with a huge number of treasures, but we did get a lot of resources. 14 free encounter tokens, and you can click a button and just skip past the screen, but I like to watch it all count up. So it's not actually that difficult to just beat Rivaloo, right? We're going to get well over half of his total score just from this expedition, and it's perfectly reasonable to score well over 2,500 points just on your 5th expedition. Wow, actually this is turning out to really be a lot of renown. 68 encounter tokens, not too shabby. So we're at 4238, and we still have an expedition to go. As you return to London, Pinkerton greets you. You have time for one last expedition before the World Expo starts and the most renowned explorer is presented. This is your last chance to gain more renown. Yeah, we're good. Don't worry about it, bye. Soon after, journalists storm into the society. They all want to hear from you. You, the world is looking forward to your final discoveries and judgments. What should the world look at when following you? What will bring you the most renown? And so you can get now, for the last expedition, a significant renown bonus to one resource and a small one to all others, or sort of a medium-sized one to all. It doesn't matter. Our renown doesn't matter here. With that great adventure behind you, you can send a report to an explorer-welcoming city. This will unlock new possibilities, yes. So we're going to send it to Beijing to unlock insight jobs where we can collect the big tokens for our insight. For the 12 insight that we've managed to bank over the course of the game. So the Council has learned of your fortuitous travels. We would like to share your insight on how to become so fortuitous. Other countries in Asia also share this request. Okay. So, now we have these available. That's pretty good. We'll probably take that one a lot. Yeah, we'll probably just get a lot of treasure hunt tokens. We can certainly make use of a large amount of money. Alright, so let's unlock the super secret shop. And then we still have enough research tokens to... we still have enough research to get 2 more research papers, probably. So... we could go to Psychology and get plus campaign tokens for entering wits challenges, and then either an emotion buff or the ability to hire a bunch of people who give plus supplies. I don't think this is terribly important because we probably just barely have enough status to hire all the stuff we have access to right now. We could go to Nature Sciences, get study tokens whenever we enter nature challenges, and then... we're probably not actually going to be able to get any tokens out of this. We'd have to be a level 3 athlete to get study tokens from spending insight to perform collect. I don't think we can put together a level 3 athlete. Or rather, I don't think it would be worth doing. And we could take a bonus to our discovery tokens. We also could go back and unlock history. That seems probably wrong. Emotion studies is interesting. You can get you can make one emotion of your choice have an additional effect. So like enemies that are enraged also have 15% mischance, or enemies that are saddened also have minus 25% speech defense. It's pretty powerful, but I don't know that it's super relevant to what we're doing right now. If we got enough research from spending insight that we could unlock 3 papers, we could go to nature sciences, buff discovery tokens, and then get a discovery token every time you find a treasure, and that would at least give us some more treasures. Or that would at least give us some more tokens, because we'll get, you know, a handful of treasures in the final expedition. Let's hold off on spending for now, because none of the things we might spend on will affect how we want to spend our resources here. Yvonne maxed out, so Deride will add a debuff that gives the target minus 15 speech defense, or Deride is better at healing. Okay, we'll take this, because we're not really relying on speech damage from the other party members very much. Okay, so we have a huge amount of resources. That's right, this is glowing because I didn't bother to spend it yet. We have a lot of money, we have a lot of status. Let's have a look at what we have available status-wise. Actually, before we do anything else, let's take a look at the 2 shops we just opened. So, first of all, the Outback shop, the Sydney shop, has a bunch of items in it. Is the barometer supposed to be available at level 1? I don't think so. Whatever, it's not important. So it has a bunch of trinkets in it that do various trinket things. And then it has gloves that do bonus damage against targets of certain types. So like, right, your normal attack does 40% extra damage against enraged targets is absolutely insane for us. Really, really crazy powerful. So we're probably going to want to buy some Master Red Gloves at least, maybe some Legendary Red Gloves. And then these trinkets, and we should actually look at these because they've changed some of them since the last time I played. So Spirit and Survivalist, these are pretty weak. Gain 10 speech when the mood is pleasant. That's a pretty good one, not for us, but pretty good. Gain 10 attack when the mood is hostile. That's when we're aggressive and they're friendly. And an athlete perk. 2 levels of engineer. Piloting and tinkerer. He has tinkerer though, right? Yeah, so it would only be 1 level of engineer for him. Athlete stamina, survivalist navigation, and adjacent allies gain 20 armor. Ooh, that's actually pretty cool. We took navigation, so this would just give us stamina, which we actually also already have. It's not great. Engineer automata, +1 move, plus 20% of your grit to your attack. That's not amazing for him. It's really more of a scout item. 2 levels of archaeology adds 15% of your speech to your speech defense. That's interesting, probably not worth buying for us. And hit chance plus 2 levels of diplomat. So a lot of characters have at least 1 attack that has non-100 hit chance. This would be pretty good on a lot of characters. The character who would really want it for us, first of all, already has customs, so she'd only get 1 level of diplomat out of it anyway, and also is one of the characters who has 100% hit chance on all of her attacks already. So none of these trinkets are looking particularly meaningful, but we will buy gloves. And the secret shop, the one you can only unlock through that tree. Are these all... Okay, so we have trinkets and armor. Gain Rogue Mischief, plus more Rogue if you have more speech. You can only own 1 epic trinket. So hold on, as a group we can only own, or do they mean that each character can only have 1? I don't know who you is here. Is you the player or you the character? It's probably the player. So lots of points of archaeology for armored people, lots of points of diplomat for speech defense. This could be relevant, actually. So we have customs and generous, so we wouldn't get generous, but we could very easily get her to 60 speech defense and pick up languages and politics. That said, 2 points of diplomat for 1,000 gold seems maybe not totally ideal. And then this is not very good for us. This is a powerful trinket, though. If you have a good scout in your team, you can get a lot of grit. Okay, and then powerful defensive items that also give a perk level. The boots are for scouts only, of course. Yeah, these are really good items. Okay. We'll see. We'll see about these. So now that we know that, let's figure out how we're spending our status. We got all the specialists from here. What other specialists do we want? Oh, you know what? Before we do anything else, we should hire Miles' fellow auctioneer. If we're going to be getting treasure hunt tokens, we should get all of the treasure hunt tokens. It's going to be a lot of resources. And remember, treasure hunt tokens also give a considerable amount of status, too. So we're going to get a lot of stuff now. Yeah, that's pretty okay. That is an alright payout. So we had, sorry, I need this. We had 1 level of specialist unpurchased there. Oh no, 2. The ones with the exclamation points are the unpurchased ones. Defense or offense tactician, actually relevant. We can pick up a point of beguiler. I think we'll probably go for the tactician, because this is already active. He's a level 4 tactician. I guess this would be her 4th level of beguiler. And a 4th level of engineer is also available, so we could actually turn any of these on. Our collect tokens are not as good as our study tokens, actually. This might be the way to go. And then here, rogue or quick thinker or survivalist. We could take camping. So that's 400 to buy those 2 guys. Alright, we have almost nobody hired here. Well, I should have gone after this earlier, probably. So we, like, for sure we need this. Oh, it's a boss encounter and an attitude of your choice, so it's not that many tokens. It's still tokens, though. I guess I don't need to do this right now, though. Hold on, what am I thinking? So I'm figuring out what I want to spend status on. But mostly what I'm looking for is whether there's any reason to buy any of these guys before spending my insight. And no, the answer is not really. So the people we want, what we want to do with our 800 status that we have here is we want to buy like journalists and merchants and stuff. When we do this, we get if we got her, how does that thing work from the anthropology tree? Oh, it only works when you're spending on campaign and study. So we want to do the gold thing because we want to be able to buy as much gear as possible to really, really do well in the last expedition. So I guess we can just start. We're getting 2 collect tokens for every 1 encounter token. So we should buy followers that affect collect tokens. Plus those guys are cheap since we don't have any of them yet. So let's hire a lot of merchants. Go around to all of the places and hire all of their merchants. Okay. And then we spend. So we're going to get 85 status. We're going to get about 75 status 12 times. So how much do I want to save up for things? We don't super need this stuff necessarily, but like 200, 400... Actually, there's going to be several boss encounters. So we should not spend any more status. Probably. In fact, I may have spent too much already. And we may have too much money. Now that I'm thinking about it. How much money are we really going to spend? Here we go. We're going to buy, 4,000 gold worth of gloves. Then we still want to be able to buy cool defensive equipment. Never mind. We have room to spend quite a lot of money yet. This is actually very slightly better average gold, but it's less status. Yeah, I think I want to save the rest of my status for hiring specialists. So let's just go ahead and burn all of these token placements. Again, you can turn off this animation. You can just make it, click the button, get the resources, but I like the little animation. I gotta say, this feels pretty okay. I guess the question really is, do we want to go for unique specimen? It would take me 400 research. That is not feasible, really. Okay. Never mind. I still think that was probably the right way to go with our research. Like, we don't have any options that are terribly compelling. We don't need the emotion effect buffs. Wow, look at the numbers climb. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful sight. Okay, so we have 8,300 gold to spend. We also probably do want to go ahead and pick up... This is the wrong place. Probably do want to go ahead and pick up Master Treasure Hunter Hyuk. Yeah, because in terms of total resource output, our treasure hunt tokens are definitely clearly the best. So we'll fight at least 4 bosses during the coming thing. Is 4 treasure hunt tokens better than... Because he's so expensive we wouldn't be able to get anything else. Is 4 treasure hunt tokens better than the couple levels of perks? Not if missing one of these causes us to miss a check, right? But you know, we have 2 tools. We'll figure it out. Alright, Master Treasure Hunter Hyuk is here to help you out by giving you lots of tokens. +1 treasure hunt whenever you resolve a boss encounter aggressive. Should be doable, I think. Alright, so let's spend this money. The first thing I want to do... Well, I guess let's finish spending my status. Turns out we do have 120 left, with which we can only buy a single lobbyist. Okay, that's fine. Not a bad entourage, all told. Especially since status was kind of our 3rd place resource. Alright, let's spend a lot of money. Let's, first of all, go get weapons. Game will be easier if we can defeat our enemies. So these 2 are definitely getting gloves. But I'm actually not sure... Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm actually not sure if I want to give her gloves. Maybe we go up to a master book, or the top level Book of Sadness for her instead? She does attack. But she also spends a lot of time shouting at people. Yeah, let's go get her that really good book. Nothing like a really good Book of Sadness. So that leaves me with 42 with which to buy slick armor. We do have enough, if we sell our existing armor, we do have enough money to buy a top level defensive item for everybody. We could also pick up one of these trinkets, although I'm not sure how much I want any of these. I'm going to go ahead and just... Well, let's figure out, let's make sure that I actually have something I want to buy for everybody. So, Survivalist Tracking. He doesn't have that. And I think I'm choosing to focus on his survivalism over his engineering at this point. So yeah, let's do this. Let's get him Epic Survivalist Armor. Tactician Defense is one he doesn't have, although it's also something he doesn't really need. We might want to go Archaeologist for him. Although the Archaeologist thing is a boot, unfortunately. So she really does need armor over speech defense. So Naturalist, Tactician, Survivalist, Diplomat, Generous is one she has. Yeah, and it's not from a perk. It's not from an item. It's something she actually has. So that's unfortunate. This is really not that great for her. And then for you... Honestly, his speech defense and his armor are close enough that we could give him any of these things. He doesn't really need a 6th point of tactician, probably. 5 is, I'm sure, fine. We could give him quick thinker because nobody in the party currently has quick thinker, and you know it'll figure into challenges to some degree. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We can sell this. And then if she doesn't need special armor, we can just go back to the main shop and buy her the normal armor. It ends up being the same amount of money because we had to upgrade the shop the last time, but that means that we now have access to all of the levels of the shop in case we want to buy one of these trinkets. So I'm sure Earl knows combustion. He does not, somehow. So we could give him the chemistry set. He gained combustion and chemistry. He does have a point of naturalist already, so that seems alright. Your trinkets are very solid. I like them a lot. Hers are okay. Is there something I would rather give to her? Offense, military history, +1 attack and +2 speech for each level of tactician is kind of good, though. He already has military history, so he'd have 6 levels of tactician. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but I don't think it's as good as these two are. Yeah, we're fine. So I could give her grit for each level of Beguiler. Is she astonishing? She's not. That would make her a level 4 Beguiler, and then she would get 12 grit. Over, like, the Trowel and Broom, just kind of, like, accept that we don't have this. That's actually probably right. -10 speech defense is nice, but it hasn't really been that crucial for us. I'm going to do that. And then he just has a single point of athlete in this slot. That would be a 3rd meaningful point of naturalist and would still keep him at 1 athlete in case we need the point of athlete. Yeah, and he does have a terrifying ability, but it's not really something that he does for damage anyway. Okay, I think we're prepped. We're ready. This is good. We have 300 extra gold. I overdid it a little bit. One of those treasure hunt spends could probably have been something else. Okay, well, what do you say we just finish this thing off? So for our final expedition, I think we're going to be going to Shangri-La. There are 2 5-star expeditions. I don't think our crew is particularly well adapted to the Lost Island, but I think we should be pretty good at this. Alright, Rivalu has obtained the Shambhala Key of Privilege to retrieve the Emperor Jade Orb. Collect more Shambhala Keys and get to the palace before him. This is an incredibly perilous expedition, in which you may lose resolve both in encounters and challenges of all kind. There are a lot of treasures here that are worth a lot of renown, which obviously is not tremendously important to us. But I think this is going to be worth more total resources for us. You fight more boss-type enemies here, which is why we took the treasure hunter guy, and yeah, I think we're going to go to Shangri-La. Listen, I'm pretty pleased with my score. I think it's going to be quite good, but this is not exactly a record setter. I am not an expert at this game by any means. There are definitely players out there who are a lot better. They post in the Steam forums for the game, and they put up some very impressive scores. So if you're interested in getting better, I would recommend go and check out the Steam forums. There's a lot of very helpful people there. Alright, this is it. You can finally prove that you are a better explorer than Rivalu. You can do so in none other than a most magical place, Shangri-La, the Himalayan utopia. It is said that one's dreams come true bit by bit when you are in Shangri-La. At the center is the Palace of the Sintamani. It contains an orb said to be a treasure of mystic proportions, on par with the Ark of the Covenant and El Dorado. If you retrieve it, you will go down in history as one of the greatest explorers of all time. Can you see you among the illustrious names of Vasco da Gama, Zheng He, and Ibn Battuta? Yeah, I mean, right? If this doesn't say intrepid explorer, I don't know what does. But first, we're going to have to beat that dude. So, it is said that the orb can only be obtained with the 4 Shambhala keys. Those will surely give you an advantage at the palace. You know that Rivalu already has one, and he'll be looking for the other keys as well, so we'd better find them before he does. However, We might be able to snatch the orb away from him even without the keys. So, the boss fight at the end of the adventure is Rivalu himself, obviously, with his crew. For each key you fail to get, he gets that key, and then it helps his crew in the fight in some way. So it is pretty important for us to get them, but even if we got none of them, it is still technically possible to just go to the palace and beat him up even though he has all the keys. It's tough, but it's doable. Alright, no time to lose. It's Adventure O'Clock over here. So you can see the locations of the 3 keys have been marked out on our map. This is pretty awkward. We have to actually cross the entire zone to get to one of them. We also have some interesting something odd here notations. Alright, we're going to go for these 2 pretty much right away. We're going to take this path, because it's actually the same amount of supplies to go through these nodes as it would be to go directly toward the crane of the cave there. Or the cave of the crane, rather. Alright, let's do it. We got our magic coin, we've got our crazy banjo, we are ready to rock. A giant trap springs below the crew. You could fit a whole gorilla in there. So, we could try to save everybody from the trap, but we probably will not succeed, and it's not particularly important that we do so. Let's just wait. Your crew stands still as a giant cage springs up around you. It was definitely the safe thing to do, but now you're stuck in a cage. The only way out of this cage is to sabotage it, and we better do it quick because we're losing valuable time. So here's where I want to try to break out of the cage, because this is an athlete check, and we'll get an extra treasure hunt token because of that treasure we took that gives us treasure hunt tokens on athlete checks. So, I don't think I'm going to tool this. I happen to know there's some very difficult checks coming up, and I think I want to hold my tools for later. So we're just going to try to take the 60%, and if we lose a supply, we lose a supply. It's not totally ideal. Oh, and we lost a supply. You works on the cage for hours with both force and mind, but makes little progress. The only way out of the cage is to sabotage it. Yeah, this time we can almost certainly do it. I think paying a supply to hit this check rather than paying a tool to hit the check is definitely the right call. You works for hours, and finally, using a clever lever, frees the crew from the trap. You hear someone yell, "Ah, that trap wasn't meant for you!" A weird but rugged lady pops out of nowhere. That trap was meant to catch something that is definitely not a Yeti, obviously, because Yetis don't exist. Well, sure, there's no need to state the obvious, there's no Yeti. That's right. There is absolutely no Yeti. I don't even know what that word means. Yvonne, try to beguile this woman. Everybody loves Yvonne, she's famous. You're a beautiful person, not like the Yeti. I mean, if there was such a thing as a Yeti. Alright, listen, lady. Say I'm looking for a Yeti. Where should I definitely not look for one? Well, of all the places there isn't a Yeti, there is most definitely not a Yeti here. Looking there would be stupid. And she's supposed to have marked the location on our map, but it didn't mark. Maybe it will once we conclude this. You knows enough. The crew bids the huntress farewell and continues to not look for the Yeti. Yeah, when she says, definitely not here, it's supposed to mark a location on your map for you to go and search. That's weird that didn't happen. They may have changed it. You know, the way the quest works may have changed. The crew arrives at a small, forsaken monastery. The gate leading to the court looks inviting. Inside, you find a weird sight, an inscribed gong, a well-kept courtyard, and an incredibly focused monk who totally ignores you. Alright, that's fine by me. Let's have a look around. You can't help but be impressed by this amazingly well-kept piece of architecture. He thinks about it. What a beautiful secret garden, or what a great discovery. Well, our study tokens are pretty good, and I think our discovery tokens are buffed. That's right, we took that thing from the discovery, from the science tree, so we should definitely do this one. Let's strike the gong. You strikes the gong. You hear the echoes resound across the valley. That's a pretty weird echo. Weird, but you feel more famous. Inside, yeah. Let's talk to the monk. Maybe we should talk to the monk. Hold on. Maybe we should not talk to the monk. Maybe this is a bad idea. 2 secret tokens would be nice. And I mean, we don't need 6 resolve. Yeah, okay, let's go for it. I'll take the coin flip for the stuff against the resolve. Alright. The man opens his eyes. When demons take over the mountains, the chosen ones should meet the one on Mount Kailash. He places a cord with a prayer flag around your neck and then continues meditating. That was weird. It was a weird thing to do. Alright, it's good resources. Alright, so let's bail out of here. With nothing of interest left, the crew leaves the monastery and continues exploring. Strange. It was a strange encounter. Alright, let's go get some Shambhala keys, if we can. You arrive at the infamous Cave of the Crane. The cave has some mysterious rooms where one's intelligence is tested by a mysterious entity. If you do it correctly, you'll find the Shambhala Key of Mind. You sure wants it to gain a better chance of getting the Sintamani. Getting a little stumble-tongued here 3 hours into the recording. Wait a minute, Explorer. Oh, it's Cassandra Shafiq, the scientist of Rivalu's crew. She approaches you and quickly begins her plea. I'm real tired of her. She continues, Explorer, please, I've been sent to get this Shambhala key, and the challenges in there befit me perfectly, yes? It's best for all of us if I go get it, or else it might get destroyed, no? Alright, this is not how we're doing this. We'll convince her to let us go first. Very gently convince her. Okay, so we'll get a treasure hunt token. This is one of the boss characters. Oh, that's right, you don't have to fight all of Rivalu's crew. So actually, there aren't more boss characters here than in the other place. They're the same. I was misremembering. I thought you had to fight... I was thinking that you had to fight all of them, but you only fight one of them, the first one you get to. Okay, so unlike a lot of boss fights in the game, this one does not have infinite reinforcements. So we're just gonna run back, clear these guys out, let her come to us, and we'll take her down when we outnumber her. So we can go ahead and start with the friendly move here. Put ourselves into backstab territory, and then we can explode them instead. I'm trying to figure out what the best version of this is. Because we probably have this guy under control now. Do you have enough damage to just... Yeah, okay, you can just take a guy... Well, we're seeing that with the plus 50% power, I guess. Whatever, it's fine. We'll do this. If it turns out that Earl can one-shot one of these guys, he will. If not, he'll just help finish that guy off. Ah, what a shame. Unmove. I'm going to move him over here behind everybody. Okay, so the reason I wanted to do it the other way is obviously that it would be trivial for Yvonne to finish this guy off while the other two ran over to engage. But whatever, it's fine for all of us to end over here. So these are her bodyguards. The bodyguards have the same art as the normal mobster goons, but they're actually quite a bit more powerful. And they have an aura around them that increases the defense of allies. So it will be pretty bad for us to try to fight her while they're both nearby. But it shouldn't be too hard to take them down, especially if they separate, which they, for some reason, often do. They just kind of wander away from each other. It should be easy enough to get through this guy. So yeah, if the three of them stand in like a triangle so they're all adjacent to each other, it can be very annoying. Ooh, she's not adjacent to either of them. So here you can see the effect. 20 speech defense and 50 armor. If she's adjacent to both of them, she gets the effect twice, which can make her very difficult to deal with. But she has stopped. Oh, she's too far away for Earl to get to. She's weak to excited, strong against enraged. It might still be worth it to just run over there. She's going to be able to get to us. So we could back up and make her come over here. Maybe that would be the smart thing to do. I think she only has 2 range on her attacks, so if we're... Let's see if she can get to here. Yeah, so we'll back way up. And we'll spread out while we're doing it. I want to try not to be grouped up, because she does have a range an area attack, I'm sure of that. Interesting, they swapped hostile. I was expecting her to move to devious. Okay, so she is adjacent to one of them, but they are now 100% in our web. So we can just run up and land this. Experimentation has had time to charge up all the way, and it's actually more effective than his normal attack right now, although experimentation does not benefit from the massive boost from his gloves. But it might actually be sufficient to take out... Oh, no, okay. Oh, I can move up to here. Alright, I was going to say, I'm not quite close enough to hit them all with it. Okay, and then that tanks out her armor as well. And he can just run up and... I keep forgetting. He has this thing. He should be adjacent to Earl before Earl makes attacks. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. 142 damage. It's alright.
Hey. Wow.
Yeah, you sure showed us, lady. Listen, why don't you just take a seat, rest, you look winded. We'll go inside and get the thing. And then we'll come back out and, I don't know, we can go for coffee or something. Alright, Cassandra lies on the floor, beaten and bruised. No. Defeated, dispirited, but completely physically intact. It's difficult to complete challenges when you can hardly bring yourself to fight back because you're so dispirited. Time to face the challenges of the Cave of the Crane and get that thing. So we enter the cave and the door's shut behind us. The crew walks on in the cold mist until you encounter a massive closed gate and you hear a clunky, mysterious voice. I'm gonna warn you, I don't know how to do a clunky voice. What are the most important elements for life? This is basically just an Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple impression. I don't know. Give me the key. Wrong. You get one more chance to answer the questions correctly. Who wrote The Art of War? Well, that's an easy one. Fortunately, Yu is specialized in a number of fields that are relevant to this challenge, and he can just blow through it very easily. 100 questions? Easy. It takes you about an hour, but Yu manages to find all the correct answers to the 100 questions. The voice is impressed. Very well. You are a know-it-all. You may proceed. Let's do it. This is the Shambhala Key of Mind we've been looking for. It sits waiting for us to take it. So these are not going to be super good for us as treasures. Oh, sorry, they're unique things. Are not going to be super good for us as treasures. We do get to just get tokens. Yeah, 3 discovery tokens is actually... It's actually about... No, it's not as much gold as 10 collect tokens, but it does have science on top of it as well, so we're going to take this. Alright, the key's in our possession, improving our chances of getting this into money. That's right, we don't have to always take the unique part of the treasure, we can do the other thing. Alright, so we've arrived at the Temple of Yabyom, the symbol of love. Your deepest desires can come to life here. If you is correct, one of the Shambhala keys must be somewhere in this temple. You have to be careful, for the trap of seduction is said to be laid out here. You enter the temple and, goodness gracious, it's crawling with beautiful and charming people. They welcome the crew with undeniable warmth. Welcome, beautiful, intelligent, sweet people. Please join us and allow us to adore you. You must get across the room to continue, but this offer is tempting. This is going to be impossible for crew members who are either gullible or want to be famous. Uh-oh. Does Yvonne want to be famous, or is it just that she is famous? Earl can't resist all those nice compliments and all those beautiful people in adoration. Aw, poor Earl. Could Earl finally made it into heaven? Gullible and fame-seeking crew members won't be able to get across. Okay. The crew moves forward while politely thanking all the people, but the crew's determination is faltering. This isn't going well. There's a gong on the other side of the room. Striking it is said to stop the beguiling madness. All hope rests on one person to win the battle of charms or iron will. Alright, well it seems like Yvonne is pretty self-possessed. Yeah, she's got this. Here's the thing. If we fail this challenge, we don't get to try again, we just don't get the key. So despite the fact that that number is 88, I am honestly considering tooling to make sure we get it. Hold on. What about the challenge of will? Are we better at that? No. Probably we will succeed. If I roll this without the tool, though, and we don't get it, I'm going to feel as dumb as anyone has ever felt. The maximum amount of dumb that one can feel. Yeah, okay, let's... I wish we could see the map, because I saw another purple node open up next to us, and I think it's... I'm just going to go for this, because I think we're going to need a tool for that, and we're going to need a tool for the other temple. 88's very good. Please don't do this to me. Okay. Please, me, don't have done this to me. Yvonne's charm is superior, and the beautiful people ended up following Yvonne. In the end, she hits the gong, and the beautiful people disappear like illusions, which makes you kind of sad. Probably that should say Earl. And we can continue. Yvonne's charm is unparalleled, it turns out. So we arrive at a cloudy hall, the Shambhala key of the heart at its center. Amazing. Alright, one more. So yeah, another 3 discovery tokens. Sounds right to me. As you can see, you can really get a lot of renown here in the final expedition if you are so inclined. Okay, this isn't a purple node. It's just a node that has a treasure on it. Never mind. Oh no! Blue demons! That's the worst kind of demons. The crew makes up for another tough encounter, but the demons are too lazy to care? Look, just go. We don't feel like pestering anyone today. I'm so tired. Okay, well then give us all your stuff and we'll go. Fine. Take some gold. Man, I really want to sleep. Nah, come on. You got more than that. We know you got more than that. Hell yeah, treasure hunt token. Alright, geez. Here, take all our infernal treasury. Can you please leave us alone? We could really use a hot bath right now. No, that's not gonna do it. Come on. Empty your pockets. Let's see them inside out. Ah, you're so annoying. For the love of Padmasambhava. Here, take this demonic charm and leave us alone. I'm going back to hell. This dimension is way too annoying. Well, if things don't go your way, just keep complaining until your dreams come true. Seems to have worked out for us. A devious charm. So, this is a pretty cool charm if you're a devious party, because it adds a treasure hunt to the devious output. That's not good for us. I think we just want a secret token, right? Oh, you know what? The secret token, though, is 10 collect tokens is actually more total resources, because the secret token's secondary resource output is so low. Right, each one of these is like 80-ish resources normally. Yeah, we'll take the collect tokens, because our collect tokens are pretty great. Alright, we gotta get over there. We have a lot of zone left to explore too, and it's not like, this is not a terribly low value zone. Alright, let's take our final camp. We could buff up the payout of our secret tokens right before we're about to score some. That's not bad. This would be better if I had taken those 3 secret tokens. We could gain some resolve, we don't need to do that. We could get 8 collect tokens, that's pretty good. Or we could go for, I think campaign charm is unlikely to be meaningful at this time. So plus 25%. So if we had 4 secret tokens, it would effectively be another secret token. I think that's going to work out to be less total value than 8 collect tokens. This doesn't feel amazing as a last card, but I think this is the highest value one we have access to. The crew spends the night going through some of the trinkets they've collected. With an appraising eye and a healthy discussion, the crew discovers that some pieces are worth more gold. Sometimes it pays off to take a second look at things. Alright, we have very few encounter tokens, so we haven't really gotten into a lot of fights. We can solve that. What's this? A small pack of demons is terrorizing a poor traveling monk. It looks like he could use some help, and Yu has prepared many possible tactics for this situation. So, we're going to get a very large stat buff, and it's going to last 4 turns, I believe. Ah, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, 4 turns of 20% attack and 20% speech. Now, demons are very tough. So there are red, green, and blue demons. Obviously, they match to the attitude of their color. This dude is weak against Enrage and Sadden. This dude is strong against Enrage, weak against Impress. Well, we can have Yvonne run over here and wipe this dude out with a good Sadden. And then this guy has 0 armor, so we can probably just crush him, and we'll deal with the other 3 demons, you know, later. Let's have her hit that great big double Sadden. Oh, she didn't quite get there. That's alright, we have some AoE. Probably just drop fireworks. Yeah, and then it should be very, very easy for us to finish this guy off. Alright, and we are still benefiting from that Corsair aura. Corsair aura. They are fast, they have good range, and they hit really hard. That said, we have the best defensive items in the game at our disposal, which I usually do not have, because we really generated a lot of gold. Okay, not bad, not bad. So this might be a good time for... yes. Yes, it turns out to be a good time for explosives. Although, kind of a silly thing to say, because what does it look like for it not to be a good time for explosives? I don't even know what that would mean. Alright, so we gotta take these guys out so that we can get close enough for Yvonne to affect him. Alright, he's at 35 armor. Yeah, we got it. So just do anything to him, lower his health by some amount, and then we can wrap it up from there. Pretty good. Now, to be perfectly honest, if that guy had gotten a turn, there's a real good chance he could have taken you down. Even with a lot of health, you know, if you're impressed, and then the demons just have a lot of damage capability. Right, we have learned how to handle the demons with tactics. The demons are defeated, and you are now a demon-slaying explorer. Take that, Columbus. That guy is not as cool as we are. That's definitely true. So somewhere out here, there's another node that has a treasure at it. There's always one additional purple node. I'm not sure which way. I guess let's go this way. We'll do the fight. We'll get a supply for having gone this way. We'll figure out what's over here. Alright, demons are guarding a mountain pass. We could engage them to pass, or we could take a longer route, which will cost supplies. That's ridiculous. Obviously, we will fight. It is beneficial for us to fight. Okay, a pair of greens. The blues are probably the worst for us. So let's run over here and give them what for. Man, really, really resistant. Well, this is probably still right. Sorry, this is probably still right. Get him enraged, get him put to a place where we can really put the damage on. Yeah, so if we stand like this, these demons will both be able to hit Earl. Earl does have 74 speech defense. He'll probably be fine. So we'll do this, break these guys' armor down, and then can we get... No multis. We'll just take one of them out. It's a little bit of a worse start. We probably... yeah, maybe we should have just run toward the green guys. That's possible. It's possible that just running toward the green guys and eliminating them would have been the better play. Oh, interesting. He chose not to run to a place that would allow him to attack. Okay. As long as she doesn't go down here... yeah, that's actually really good for us, because she gets to use Deride. So she gets to heal herself up while also doing significant damage. Can I take this blue guy down without his help? I can, so we will save the fireworks for later. Finish off blue guy and then have you just do a single attack on the red guy. Want to hold on to the fireworks in case the green dudes go after you, because he can heal up off of the fireworks. Interesting, they're both green and they went to hostile. Weird. Oh, they should not make her excited. That's not going to turn out well for them. It's one of the dangers of a friendly, positive team is that you do have a tendency to sometimes leave your opponents with significant stat buffs, so you have to be pretty careful about it. That said, you can't have 0 armor here. It is too late in the game for you to have 0 in a defensive stat. Alright, let's see. You break the demon's will and continue through the pass. The demons even gift you some gold in tribute, as well as telling you how to sneak past demons. Handy, but I mean, when are we ever going to sneak past demons? So we're low enough on supplies that I'm a little nervous about trying to, just work my way around. Let's go back this way, try to grab these supplies, see what's to the south a little bit. Obviously, we still need to get over here, get this other key, and then still get to the end. Even near the Himalayas, supplies can be found to extend your expedition. A survivalist has the best chance. Looks like there's no penalty for failure except not getting the supplies. Let's just roll for it. Okay, good stuff. Exploring the area yields both supplies and some interesting study materials. A big problem with this map is that you can see it's very frequent that nodes don't connect to most of the other nodes around them, so it can be tough to plan your path out. Alright, found nothing here. We kinda need to focus up, I think, if we're gonna get out of here in time. Let's just head out. A group of Rivalus henchmen is running around frantically. We saw it! We saw a Yeti! You must hear me out! There's no such thing as a Yeti. That's not real. No, you must hear me out! It's amazing! And we made some useful notes! You should come with us to find him! Well, I do want their information. I don't want them around, though. So let's relieve them of the responsibility of dealing with this Yeti. I mean, if the Yeti spawned, I do want to do the Yeti encounter. There's a lot of reward available there. We still have both of our keys. Or our tools, rather. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. Let's beat these dudes up and then we'll figure out what's up. So, just low stats. Just guys with low stats. We have to be careful, because we're going to end hostile. I'm going to fall back. We're not going to be able to have everybody end together and also get off our maximum number of attacks here, is primarily what I'm concerned about. Right, because he would have to be at least this far back. Oh, okay, apparently we are going to have to all end together, because we don't quite have this dude. Oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. They just want to have it out. They gave up on explaining their position to us very quickly. Hey, they're learning. Finally, somebody's shooting back. Ow. He should really get one of those guns. This does not seem like a good way of solving this problem. Oh, it doesn't quite reach everybody. That's fine. This is probably fine. Let's light these guys up. Try to figure out, is it possible? Oh, it is totally possible for me to bring both of these guys down this turn. I may have overexposed Yvonne a little bit, but we certainly have pretty good armor on. She might be okay. She'll probably be okay. Even though she's going to get shot twice. I mean, we know Yvonne's tough. She took that punch from Earl like a champ. I'll take the guy who's not enraged with Earl, since he's really good at that. And then it should be pretty easy to get through the rest of this. Yeah, you know, just 172 damage. Okay, we get their notes on the Yeti and supplies. That's actually really nice. You know, it says we got some notes on the Yeti, but I don't see anything opening up. Alright, so like you can see, neither of the nodes that are adjacent to this temple actually let us go to the palace. We're probably going to have to go, like, here and then up and then over. But now that we have all these extra supplies, let's go ahead and take a look around. I do want to find the other treasure node. Demons are terrorizing travelers again. They'll only let you pass with proper demon diplomacy. Man. I would rather lose a point of resolve than a point of supplies right now. Nope, turns out we don't have to lose either. Alright, with the genius use of words, she manages to confuse the demons. They agree to pester only yaks. Well, that's nice of them. I don't understand how that outcome came about, but we should probably head... Like, if this is the other treasure node, I don't know that we have the supplies. We go to 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Yeah, I don't think we should go that way. We can afford to go down here because there's an encounter. We can get supplies from it. Okay, there we go. A group of happy demons are holding a positively ravishing party. What do those buggers have to celebrate? Let's go find out. The demons react oddly positively. We're so happy we passed through the gates of hell. That place was a total bore. Here we can enjoy the sun and make people laugh. Hey, don't you want to watch our 12-hour epic piece of demon theater? We've practiced it for an eternity. Obviously, we do not have time for this. So this one's interesting. If you end it friendly, you get a reward. You can get a treasure. And I think that ending it friendly is probably not in our best interest. We'll get a treasure. It'll probably be like a couple of tokens or something. I think it's better for us to take the 4 extra encounter tokens plus the supplies. So we're just gonna punch our way out of this the same way we punch our way out of everything else. So we could afford to throw... Never mind. I was going to say we could afford to throw a good friendly attack at them, but we actually don't... Our only speaker doesn't have any of the thing they're weak against. Yeah, but these two are completely dealt with already, so we may as well stand back as far as I can while still being able to attack them. Actually, right here is slightly less accessible to them. Yeah, we'll just throw one of these out. I guess it's not necessary for me to do this way because we don't need the 50% bonus attack power. So wait, actually, is you going to get attacked? He is. But only by one of them. And then we have to, obviously, the 2 blue guys are going to get their swings in. I think the green guys have a 2-range attack. Maybe I'm... No, I'm right. We saw them do one just a few minutes ago. Yes, this guy gets to move to here. That's a very impressive move. You is delighted and bewildered. Alright, it'll be easy enough for you to shed his impressed status, and being sad doesn't actually affect Earl in any way. Let's give him one of those. Actually, you know what? I should have had Yvonne finish this one off. Well, no, I suppose, actually, Yu was at the end of his movement, wasn't he? I don't think he could have affected the green one. So we'll trap this green guy back here. We might be able to sadden him out. The second hit might do enough damage. It does half. Okay, just barely not good enough. Well, that was just sad. He tried to hug her and missed. I feel a little bit bad about this. Alright, we beat the happy demons. We're not exactly sure it was so useful, though. Whoa, this place is even more violent than hell. What a horrible place. Hey, if you hate it here so much, just go back where you came from. It's not super sound argument, but we're just yelling at demons. It doesn't really matter. Alright, what a magnificent sight. Mount Kailash. With the recent demon infestation, the chosen ones need to climb the mountain and meditate on the problem. You find some supplies that previous travelers must have left behind. Alright, let's head up there. We do want to get up to the top of this. So we have 2 of our tools left. We should definitely use a tool to make this easier. So we could use a tool. We get an extra treasure hunt token if we do it with you. Alright, let's do it. I'm going to spend 2 supplies on this. Oh, wow, he's really negative, actually. Never mind. Here, we'll just go. We're very likely to hit this now. Pretty likely to hit this now. And we really can't waste any more supplies. Alright, you've done it. You've finally reached the top of Mount Kailash. Oh, no, that's right. You get some supplies at the top, I think. We're probably fine. The crew looks around frantically for a solution to the demon invasion. I don't know why demons in scare quotes here, but nowhere else. Then Earl makes an unbelievable find. It's Padmasambhava, the legendary Buddhist. Ah, chosen ones, and in particular you, Earl, the skeptic. Your inquisitive nature has led you to this fateful event. Can you call yourself Bodhisattva, enlightened in the path of Buddha? Earl's beliefs waver, so he can become an enlightened Bodhisattva, or he can remain skeptical. Speech defense increased, or he'll have 25% more spirit and always start encounters excited. I mean, 25% more spirit probably is greater than the benefit of speech defense. Starting encounters excited is probably not that big of a deal, but it does mean that it will take more effort for enemies to reduce him to negative emotions like terrified, which would actually be pretty annoying. So yeah, okay. The bliss of absolute knowledge takes over Earl. A very special Buddhist is born. Padmasambhava smiles modestly. Now, if the chosen ones come to visit me, it must mean that the valleys are being overrun by demons, correct? Yeah, but... I see. Thank you for proving your worth. I just turned all demons into gold, with my knowledge. You can collect them if you want with some of these magic berries, although all those pursuits are fruitless, of course. I kind of don't want the demons to be turned into gold, though, because fighting them is good for us. Right, every time we fight them we get 6 encounter tokens, and that's way more total resources than a single treasure hunt token, which is what we will get instead. Right? Is that right? It's over 120 gold. It's more in the neighborhood of like 150 gold, plus 6 of all... Yeah. Please don't turn the demons into gold. We want to face those demons. I like fighting demons. Okay, and he marks all the demon locations on our map. Yeah, we knew there was one right here. Padmasambhava continues. Before you descend, I want you to take this sacred token down to earth. It should provoke the thoughts of all mortals. It's the Dharma Chakra of Padmasambhava, which is definitely a thing that I've heard of before. Can an even bigger treasure be found? I guess it's pretty impressive. Okay, so lots of renown available, but we're going to take 3 discovery tokens for the same reason that we have previously taken 3 discovery tokens. A few days later, the crew looks back at the mountain after days of climbing. Earl, in particular, won't forget the spiritual journey we made. Now, didn't Padmasambhava mention that all the demons had been turned to gold? Yeah, but we told him not to do that. So we can go here. It'll take us down to 6. We'll get a supply for the fight. Actually, I suppose we should move here, then there. We'll get a supply for the fight back up to 7. This takes us to 5. Here goes to 3. Go down to 2. Then to 1. And we would actually take a debuff. If we go after this, we will take a debuff before getting to the end. It could be really bad, but also it could not be that bad. It might not be that bad. It's possible it won't be that bad. I say we go for it. This area seems to be the site of an ancient monastery. You might want to study the place. Yeah, maybe. Tell me what to do. Yeah, I guess we'll study it. That's fine. Okay, I relent. You got me. I don't want to tool this. I want to save my tool for the last thing, because I think we're not super well equipped for the challenge we're going to face on the way to the key. You finds a small chapel surrounded by stupas. The player flags found in this rubble are particularly inspiring to someone. He was very inspired by the flags and has increased speech for the rest of the expedition. Okay. That's fine, I guess. It's not a big deal. Alright. Let's rumble with some demons. So we'll get a supply for this. We'll get all of our tokens. I think it's possible that we'll end up in another encounter and we won't actually end up taking a hunger penalty. I don't know. It'll depend on how the nodes work out. So we could just dive on the green dudes. Maybe that's the thing to do. So accept that the blue dudes are going to hit us. Tackle the green guys, and I can also stun these two and go after the green guys. Is she able to defeat one with just sadness? Probably not. Her attack might actually get there, though, once she's adjacent to you for the bonus attack. Like, what if I ran him over here? And then her here. No, that still doesn't get one. Alright, so I guess it's you and Earl taking down these two, and then I don't know what she'll do. She can probably defeat that green demon by herself, right? Although, her speech defense is not going to recover. Maybe she actually needs to run away? Actually, maybe this is what happens. We just... I have to move over here, I guess. We just stun these two. Actually, she's not even going to get that guy. I thought for sure she would have him by herself. Well, it's probably still right to go for it. She just won't quite get him all the way. So depending on how he chooses to move on his turn, we might be able to rope him in with an explosion over here. Nope, he didn't. He didn't go toward him. So unfortunately, I think we're probably still going to have both of those blue guys up. Oh! This guy running over into explosion range was nice, though. So never mind. We're good, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Hold on. These guys are strong against Deride. Still, it'll do enough damage that I think she'll be safe. So we'll blow up these two. We'll run you over here so that she has the benefit of her aura. We'll deride this guy for health, and then we'll have you attack him once he's enraged. And actually, that should be enough to wipe him out. Yeah, and then this guy can't. He can't kill anybody from full health. Okay, we got there. That one was a little hairier. We didn't end up in quite as good of a starting position as we have in the last few. Hey, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. If Earl had not started this battle excited due to his spiritual awakening, he would have been terrified by that, reducing his attack power. It wouldn't have made a big difference here, but there are battles in the future. You know, the final battle, it could potentially happen, and it would matter. The fact that he starts the battle at full positive emotion might actually turn out to be important. Alright, we break their will, continue through the pass. They give us some extra stuff on top of all the stuff we already got. Maybe we'll be lucky and we'll be able to get some supplies at that node. That would help. Okay, it's a potential supply node. We'll have to pass a cultural challenge. I think we're pretty good at diplomacy and archaeology. Yeah, actually, I bet we're fine. So it costs 1, 2, 3 to go around this way, but we get an extra supply out of it. And we'll get all those tokens. So we should definitely veer around here and grab this. Alright, a small group of demons are gathered around a demon leader. The one on Mount Kailash isn't looking. We will infest the mountains once again. Yeah, let's, we don't need to warn the one. He knows. But let's just fight these dudes. Alright, we engage the demons and their leader, for fame and glory, and also because we care about the people who have to live here. I noticed that didn't make it into the text box. Yeah, good additional payouts on top of our payouts. Okay, a lot of green dudes. This is really good for our party, actually. Okay, so I don't quite have enough damage to take them down with the AoE from experimentation until it has charged up at least once, it looks like. So what I could do instead is run over here and stun some dudes. Does she do enough damage to take one of these guys down? Maybe. Right, so we have you come over here and do this. We're going to end up with Earl being vulnerable to the one attack that he's going to receive, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Alright, come on, lucky roll. That could be a one-shot if we just... looks like we rolled just about minimum damage. That's a shame. But remember, they're immune to the speech defense thing because of the coin, and then we stun these two. So Earl will take one hit, and somebody over here will take one hit, and then we can... as long as Earl doesn't end up terrified or something, he should be able to use Explosion to take out both of the green demons up here. Okay. All of our problems are over with. We can re-stun this guy. We haven't had to do this yet. Actually, this is the first time I've used this attack the entire game, isn't it? Terrifying fireworks. I think mostly what he's afraid of is a guy who would carry a rocket that large around with him in his backpack. Oh, that's right. She doesn't have a ranged attack. He's stunned by the implications of this, of Yu's behavior. Think of all the things that could have happened to you. What if you fell over? What if you fell over on your bag? Listen, OSHA hasn't even been invented yet. It is a murky time between 1500 and 1945. Nobody's exactly sure where we are. The demons are defeated. Yeah, we've done it. And that should give me enough supplies that we're okay now, even if we don't get any supplies from this. Oh, no, that's right. That gave me... We're not in any different of a position. Oh, it's a beautiful monastery where we can rest. Actually, this is great for us. So, we can rest in this garden. We get supplies. We get a resolve. We don't have to do anything. But the trade-off is that it lowers your renown. However, in our case, we don't care about our renowns. This is the easiest decision ever. Alright, the whole crew wakes up the next morning refreshed. You enjoy free breakfast supplies, too. This could be a great tourist destination if it wasn't surrounded by demons and also this mountain range. Let's see if we can have a pleasant conversation with this dude. Yeah, I'll gamble a resolve against all those tokens, especially since we just got a 7th point of resolve. Easy. Yvonne listens carefully to the man's wisdoms. For example, did you know a bowl is most useful when it's empty? You feel more intelligent and respected. I don't know if I agree. I think a bowl is most useful when it's filled with tacos. Because then I can eat tacos out of it. You arrive at a place where one of the Shambhala keys is said to be hidden, Tiger Mountain. Old masters who perfected their martial arts are said to meet at the top of this mountain. With a Shambhala key, you can gain the blessing of an elder master, which will surely help you. A divine light is emanating from the top, a sign that the key is still there. So this might be tough for us. We have to either find a hidden route or have someone lead the climb, and we're not super invested in any of the skills that are necessary for that. Never mind, actually, 4 ranks of survivalist plus 1 rank of athlete totally is sufficient. I forgot that he had our rank of athlete now. And I was also thinking that he only had 3 ranks of survivalist. I can't imagine this is going to be better. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that there's actually nothing remaining for us to use our tool on. So let's just go ahead and burn it here so that we don't have even a chance of losing the key. And what a climb it is! It takes a great deal of time, but the crew climbs like heroes under the expert guidance of Earl. Soon you will see what is at the top. It's a martial arts monastery. In the middle, you see what you're looking for, the Shambhala key. It sure seems to be a tough challenge to get here. There's no one around. All that hard work pays off. Now you can pick up what you've been looking for. So if you, whichever one of the key places you get to first, you have to fight the member of Rivalu's crew that is appropriate to the place. So if we'd gotten to Tiger Mountain first, we would have fought his fighter, Tommy, and we would not have had to deal with Cassandra. 10 collect versus... Yep. 10 collect tokens is better than any amount of renown. Okay, we have enough supplies that we can even run around a little bit here. Let's see exactly what the map still has to show us. Being far away from society grants you some excellent opportunities to conduct experiments in the wild. So you can see almost every check here has resolve as a penalty for failure. I think I'm gonna gamble for the better tokens. Again, going down to 6 resolve is not something I'm concerned about. Aww. Oh well. The experiment is nothing but a disappointment. This would have worked much better in a lab at home. Yeah, it's hard to control conditions out on a mountain. So, we can go here, then go here. We'll be at 1 supply, we'll get the gold, and then we'll finish off. Alright, nothing special. I'm not sure if there's a hidden hoard on the final expedition, actually. We found a lucky Tibetan coin. This will surely please some collectors. Wow, that coin is worth 4 collect tokens. Alright, let's do it. The Palace of the Sintamani is right in front of you. If you enter now, you will reach the conclusion of this adventure. Yep. Oh, we're ready. You walk into the amazing palace. You are surrounded by the biggest hoard of gold you've ever seen in your life. You could buy a small country with this. But you're not here for superficial gold, although we should take all the gold. You're here for the Emperor Jade Orb. Jade Orb. You do not have all the Shambhala keys, but you is confident that you will find a way to take the orb. There it is, the Sintamani. Those who touch it give it a shape according to their nature. A simply mystical and amazing treasure. Some mystical spheres surround it. They probably will disappear with the Shambhala keys. Then suddenly, the ceiling starts to crack. It's Rivalu and his crew. They come bursting in from the other side. Ha-ha! It seems we're just in time, crew. It's beautiful to see that some of our most die-hard fans have gathered here to see us collect the greatest treasure of all. So we can do this and fight him, or we can let you totally fanboy out. And actually, this will mean we don't have to fight Rivalu at all. He'll be so touched that he'll just give us the orb. But the thing is, I really want to fight him. I'm not 100% sure. If you do this, you might be allowed to just fight him anyway, but we're just going to take the top option. I want to fight him. We're going to win the fight, and we're going to get rewards for the fight. And also, you know, I kind of just want to make it clear who's on top in this relationship. Rivalu laughs. Is that so? Why don't we let the ancestors of this place decide? Let us activate the Shambhala keys. I'll start with this Shambhala key of privilege. Hooyah! I think that's what he's going to... Hooyah! He pulls out the Shambhala key and the surroundings transform. The place is adapting in accordance with Rivalu's dreams, with statues of him all over the place. Typical. Time for the next key, and this one is ours. You shows the Shambhala key of strength. Its blessings of power are yours. Rivalu is happy for you. Congratulations! You now must be the strongest number 2 ever. You pulls out the next key, the Shambhala key of heart. Its blessings of beauty are yours. Rivalu congratulates you on your newfound charm. Ah, I see you're looking more like me now. That's a development we can all get behind. And finally, the Shambhala key of mind. Your crew feels their determination surging. Rivalu is delighted with this development. It's great for you that you found that key. You could surely use it more than me. Now that the keys have been activated, the only thing left here is the Sintamani. You and Rivalu look at each other, and then at the orb, and then back at each other. It's time to see who deserves the orb. Time to talk this out? This is a classic maneuver. We've done this many times. We pretend that we're going to have a reasonable conversation, and then we make with the fireworks and the bombs and the explosives. I guess explosives is maybe a little bit redundant there. So, the Shambhala Key of Privilege doesn't actually do anything in combat itself, but it makes all of the other key blessings more powerful. So while we have, for example, 5 attack power and 10 armor, if Rivalu had the Shambhala Key of Strength, it would dramatically increase his armor. If he had the Shambhala Key of Heart, he wouldn't get 5 speech power. He'd get everybody in his crew would get 15 speech power, and also it would make them resistant to all of the positive emotion attacks. So mostly, like I said, getting these is about keeping them away from him more than it's about getting them for us. Alright, so Tommy is weak against sadness. That bodes ill for him. Rivalu is weak against enraged. That's going to be very unfortunate. We could try to just race these dudes down. We could just run over here and focus entirely on Rivalu. I'm going to start with a good group insult. Let's get everybody as angry as possible. And now the time has come for shooting Tommy Gunn in the face, I think. We could also throw out the... Ooh, wow. That really does a number on Amir. Yeah, okay. Let's shred their armor. And then we have enough move to get over to here. We can toss a... Okay. We can toss a single attack. And next turn, we're going to probably drop 2 of them, would be my guess. I think it should be very easy for us to get Amir and Tommy. And now they're clever. We have to watch out. They can switch their attitude, I believe, at will, but with a 2-turn cooldown. So we have to be a little cautious of that. Wow, they're just gonna burn her all the way down, aren't they? Oh, all 4 of them working together couldn't quite get through the armor. It's very good armor. Alright. So a good strong deride will get her back to full health. Yeah, look at that. She really got a piece of him. You know what? It looks like we can maybe just disregard the others entirely, because it kinda... Yeah, we've actually completely got this. Man, this is a pretty good party. Okay, just dump Rivalu in a single turn from full to 0. Straight up honest fight. I mean, sort of. You know, he probably doesn't have quite as many toys as we do. That's it! You're the strongest explorer! Rivalu, who gained a chipped tooth in the fight, is panicking. My face! My beautiful face! That guy will bother you no more. You've beaten him and his crew fair and square. Now you can go get this into money. As soon as you touch it, it will change according to how the ancestors see you. You touches out and reaches out and touches the orb. It starts to reshape itself. Fascinating. The Emperor Tiger. You fought like the tiger to acquire your hoard. Okay, unfortunately, the only things we can get from this are renown. So what's the most? 30 renown for each treasure hunt token we have is... Actually, I can't tell. We have so many tokens that the treasure hunts are off-screen. 5 renown for each collect token would be not that much. Yes, not even 300. For each point of speech defense across all of your people, 2 renown. This is a lot of renown. 30 renown for each treasure hunt. So let's see. We got 6 treasures? 5 treasures, maybe? So we have the treasure hunt tokens from that. We have the 2 treasure hunt tokens from the fighting bosses. You know what? I don't think this is going to be anywhere near... Oh, I clicked? Okay, there it goes. I thought it froze up for a second. The Emperor Tiger, a sign of your fighting prowess and impressive hoard. This treasure will seal your rightful position as the world's most renowned explorer. All that remains is to go back to London and celebrate this event with the International Society. I'm a little bummed that we didn't get to fight the Yeti. The Yeti is a very rare spawn. But it's a Yeti. Who doesn't love a Yeti? Oh, we did end up with 6 treasures. I was forgetting to count this. So hold on, we'll see how many, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll see how many treasure hunt tokens we got. It would have to have been like 20 for it to be more renowned, to take the 30 per treasure hunt token. Yeah, that wasn't even close. Okay, we made the right call. 14 more encounter tokens. Explorer Showdown has been tremendous. The amount of raw resources we got from Explorer Showdown is really, really high. Look at that. And that's without us picking the renown option on any of the other treasures. This is a pretty okay score. Alright, 8767, not bad. It would have been much higher if we had gone for renown at any point. I have to say, I think I'm pretty pleased with this. Alright, back in London, and everyone is enjoying the Explorer of the Year party. Pinkerton comes up to you. An exquisite job, Explorer. I must admit, I wasn't sure you could beat the competent Ravelou, but it looks like you're the best explorer among us. Then you know who butts in. I'm so proud of you. I knew you would rise to the challenge I set up for you. This must be how a proud parent feels. I congratulate you on overcoming my challenges, young grasshopper. Yeah, thanks, dude. It's time for you to go on stage. Time to receive the title you deserve. The most renowned explorer. See, I mean, he's taking it in stride. He's like basically a good dude. He's just kind of full of himself. Alright, I'm curious. How do we end up here? Okay, I thought I had scienced a little better than that, but on the whole, yeah, pretty pleased with that. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed doing it. I really do think this is a great game. And if this series convinced you to buy it, that's not the right outro. There we go. If this series convinced you to buy it, there's a pack on Steam with this game and Curious Expedition together. Both of those games are extremely good. Highly recommend it. So, that's going to be it for us for today. I hope you too can contribute to challenge number 100 and help to immortalize the community. And come back next time for some more stuff. And we'll see you then.